Those
like
jeans
it was
were crazy.
So
For a guy who's also like 5'5", having your jeans look too big is.
It's not even the jeans, dude. It's just the style. He wore flared jeans.
They're like bare bottoms. Yeah. All right, it's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We got a lot to get to. Start with the Super Bowl. You happy?
It's a good game.
For all the reasons I wanted the Chiefs and Mahomes to do well is the exact reasons why you did not want to. Surprise, things did not go my way, and they went the New England way.
Are you sitting weirdly far back?
Yeah, you feel a little bit.
Do I?
No,
I wasn't rooting. I was rooting for the Eagles, but like, I think it was more just because like I have friends who are Eagles fans. I didn't really care because I think I've made it pretty clear. Like, I don't know. You're not going to convince me that Mahomes is better than Brady, so I don't really care what his stats are.
Yeah.
But not that they're not comparable. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I know, but like,
it's also one of those things where, first of all, we're so quick, and it's not just with these two particular people. It's just the way the world works. Everyone always wants to be the next guy. Like Mahomes is, I believe he's still on pace.
Totally.
Like,
that's the thing.
Brady had 3 separate spans of his career, 7-year spans. All 3 of them are Hall of Fame careers. Mahomes got 1.
Right.
Great job.
Yeah.
Can you do 2 more? I don't know. I saw someone say everybody's better than Tom Brady till it's time to be better than Tom Brady. like he was like awesome even having him.
If he was old and the book was like closed on him. This is similar to people telling, Brady's done. It's over for Brady.
This is Brady. This is 07 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is Brady just lost to the Giants because Montana had never lost a Super Bowl.
See, that to me, like, it's also the Jordan and LeBron thing. Jordan's 6-0. LeBron is 4-6 or whatever.
But then to beat them, you have to do something that they've never So Montana went 4-0. So to become better than Montana, Brady had to win 7. So Mahomes has to win 8 now.
Yeah,
that's the way it works.
I just to me, I don't think getting your doors blown off by an Eagles team who, like, by the way, getting, Pat Mahomes doesn't give up 40 points. You know what I mean? So like the fact that it's a blowout is also not as much of a. He played like shit, so like that's the knock on him. But being like it was a blowout versus just a loss, it's like I was saying to Dave, Tom Brady losing to the Jets in the fucking divisional round of the playoffs, I think is worse than getting blown out in the Super Bowl. It's not memorable for fans in terms of like a legacy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like the legacy discussion, you have to win 8 now.
Just because he got blown out twice. But
because now like the bet you have to beat him now. You can't just keep pace with him anymore.
What if he wins the next 4? Wins 4 in a row.
Wins 4 in a row. Yeah, that's something Brady never did.
So it's got to just be a different.
It's got to be something that is a complete level that's never been done.
What if he wins 3 but throws for 600 yards a game and fucking 7 touchdowns?
Probably not.
I don't know. I mean, because then
it's just like my thing is like Mahomes is really good. Mahomes belongs in the conversation, all that stuff. But realistically, if we're like taking in how the legacy, how those conversations will go, you have to do something he's never done.
What if they lost 27-24? Does that change things?
Yeah, it probably changes things, but it's still like he's still not halfway there.
Yeah,
that was the crazy.
But I don't think anybody was like. I just don't think it's over for him.
I don't think it's over, but now he has to do something insane.
Yeah,
now he has to play.
But you think because like just 1 makes a difference when you're talking about getting to 7, 1 now versus 1 in a couple years. You know what I mean?
I think if he has 7 and Brady has 7, people will point to this. And go, Brady never got fucking blown out, so you got.
But what if Mahomes does it over the next? We need to win 4 more. What if he wins 4 in 5 years? Where it's like I never missed the Super Bowl. You missed for a decade.
I think that'll be an argument, but I think it'll be. I think the longevity will help. Look, we won't know until it's happening.
That's kind of the thing. I think he's just so young that the book is not closed on him.
The book's not closed, but this is a huge blemish that people will point to and go. Bro. And it's the funniest thing too. Like it's such an example of like how time works, and because like in 20 years, someone will be arguing with an 18-year-old and be like, "Well, Mahomes threw for 250 yards and scored 22 points." Not if you watched the fucking game.
No, he didn't.
Not if you watched the game.
He played so bad. And I don't even necessarily like when you have, and Jackie knows this. When you have that much of an edge in the O line and the D line, it's over. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care who your weapons are. They are so far superior in both those. You could play that game 100 times if those lines play that way. Like that stat of that the average on their O-line is 6'6", 345 or whatever.
It's a big crop.
Fucking crazy, dude.
But then even
that's how Brady lost too. It was like the Giants D-line. Like it's just.
But Mahomes having 2 losses totaling 50 points, I think it is, or 40 points is what his 2 losses in the Super Bowl are. Brady's 3 combined are for 15 points. That's tough. The fact that
I don't know if I necessarily think that like how much you lose. I mean, obviously it does, but it's like
Brady. One of Brady's losses, he threw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, like he did all he could. Yeah, right.
When Brady played,
but like the game he beat the Rams, it's like it was like 10-7 or 13-10 or whatever.
13-3, I think.
Yeah.
But that was even that. Like fourth quarter was going to touchdown, Tom Brady. Exactly what that tweet said. Like everyone's better than Brady until it's time to be Brady. Like
him on the call, he was just sitting there.
Yeah,
loving it.
The Seahawks game that was against the number 1 overall defense in the NFL. That was against the Legion of Boom. Fourth quarter, Tom Brady went 12 for 12, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like when it's time, there was a fucking guy. Mm-hmm. Seems like Pat Mahomes might not be that guy. Seems like the other one.
No, but
Aaron Rodgers got cut by the Jets.
Yeah, that guy stinks. That guy fucking stinks. But like up until right now, the stats were. I mean, he was the guy. Like had better game-winning stats and come from behind wins than Tom Brady. It was like Trey Wingo was talking about. It was like there's been 12. He has 12 times that it was a minute left and down by a score, and he's like won all of them or whatever it was. And Brady had won like 4 of them. Somebody else had won like 5 of them, and Mahomes won like 8 of 8 or whatever it was. So it's like there are these numbers that
there are numbers, but I'm a vibes guy. And like we had that we had this discussion at dinner in New Orleans, and we were like. It was me. Who was I sitting next to? Oh, it was Hank. And me and Hank were like, give me Patrick Mahomes' iconic playoff moment. Because Brady's got 50 of them. And no one could give us one. Fucking Malasek was like, the 60-yard chicken route to Tyreek Hill. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but you guys are skewed a little bit. Come on.
Well, we weren't asking Pats fans. We were asking everyone else. I mean, give me an iconic Pat Mahomes moment.
Super Bowl, you said?
Playoffs.
When he beat Josh Allen with, like 13 seconds to go?
Okay.
That was a big one.
There's one.
I mean, I'm not the guy to do this. I'm sure if you talk to like a real, I'm sure in that 49ers game, they were down, right? They were down big against the Niners, and he came back. Like I can't give you the specifics. I'm not the guy to do it, but I bet you there are. It's not Brady, and that's the point. Is you got a long way to go. But I was at a kids family party. I'm not doing enough social stuff with the guys, with the dads. I'm getting gossiped about. That's lame. It's like I don't do that with anybody.
Yeah,
it's not you guys. Nothing against you. It's not like I'm out partying with other people. So anyway, but I go to this house party, and it was. I mean, it was crazy. First of all, just oddly for whatever reason, being in New York, but it was full Eagles fans everywhere. This is how it was. This is like. Oh my God. This is just a basement of like children who were
in New York.
That's how loud this is. This is a house party.
What?
Why are there so many Eagles fans in New York? And they're all rooting for the Eagles?
All rooting for the Eagles. Like
why?
So I know that the woman, the mom who hosted the party was an Eagles fan. That skewed things, but like there was. There was like 100 people at this party. It was crazy. It was huge. So you had families of all kind, Jets fans, Giants fans, New York fans, and like they were all. I mean, look at it.
Sounds like you're on Broad Street. Like, why are there so many Eagles fans in New York?
They were going tushy, pushy, doing the Eagles chant and everything. I was like, this is fucking nuts. And then the craziest thing of all, when Donald Trump went on the screen, these kids went bananas.
What?
They went nuts. And I was like, this is weird. I don't care who you are, what your politics are. President goes on camera. People were like 9-year-olds. Yeah! What? I was like, what the fuck?
Why?
Was that? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Save TikTok? I don't know. It was a crazy experience. I was just sitting there like, I don't know. I thought I was going to be like talking to the dads and just like, watching the game. And it was like, I was in a fucking stadium of children. It was.
Were these all dads of Shay and Keith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope. Hanging out with a bunch of kids who don't know my
the
kids.
kids are with the wife. Like, I was just with some random kids. I had the Sunday off. Decided to go hit the basement with some children.
You can have other friends who happen to have kids.
Yes.
You're right.
No,
that's fair.
That wasn't
That's fair.
crazy.
No, you're right. So that was. I was like, this is 40. This is life now. I also am. I like started a race war with the halftime show. I am at the point I do not like going viral anymore, man. I do not want the views. I do not want the comments. I don't like it because first of all,
stay starting race war.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing is I always, even when I was making that video, I had a version with a lot of disclaimers of like I understand this and I understand that, but I just didn't like it, and I was like, kind of like we were talking about Tommy Beater. It's like fuck that.
Yeah.
Be entertaining. So I was like, this shit sucked. But it's got a lot of views and a lot of comments, and like people in hip hop that I like and revere are commenting, and I don't like that. And I'm like, fuck. Brooklyn Decker's in there telling me that I'm wrong. Like Brooklyn Decker is gonna tell me that Kendrick Lamar is amazing.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
I think that was a rap concert, and I think he is a good rapper and a good performer. I think that lineup, that set list is fucking insane for the Super Bowl. Doing like your fourth single off your new album is fucking nuts.
I don't disagree with that because I liked it because I did not have a high bar. I don't really know Kendrick Lamar. I was like, I don't know, this will probably be fine. And then it started, and I liked Samuel L. Jackson. I liked the choreography. I liked the visuals.
I thought that was lacking. Because I remember saying what I thought was going to happen was kind of the Imagine Dragons Grammy performance.
Yeah.
I remember saying he does not have the catalog. This is not a debate. You're talking about Michael Jackson and Prince and people who have Rihanna have like 20 number one hits. He just does not have that. But I thought what was going to happen was people were going to be like, I don't know those songs, but that dude put on a fucking show. I don't think he. I thought he kind of walked like the dancing, the American flag, the PlayStation controller. I don't, when we're talking about, I was thinking it was going to be fucking fire. And I also think you should always go with live music, even as a rapper. I think having a band,
he wasn't live?
instrument.
Oh, I see.
Music. Yeah. And by the way, SZA was straight up lip singing. That was.
Oh, I thought she was great. I didn't
thought
notice that, but I thought she was great.
If you go back and watch, I mean, it's like Britney Spears crazy lip sync. And she like threw in some ad libs, but like she's dancing and moving, and like the voice, it's just a studio song.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'm surprised that was not getting called out more. I just think two things. One, still like so heavily Drake. Serena Williams being out there doing two of your diss tracks. I think that should be more of like your moment and like a culmination. Let me start by saying this. I know that Kendrick Lamar does not care about this. People are like, he really cares about rap and black culture, and those people are happy. Mm-hmm. So, as a white guy and middle America, and they're like, they don't care. We don't care that you don't like it. But then I think you also open yourself up to criticism where it's like, this is a show where there are people who have transcended your niche and your genre and have so many hits and can do such a performance that every age and every gender and every race walk away being like, whoa, that was crazy. I think rap fans walked away going, that was awesome. I think that's falling short in the Super Bowl. I think that it's a level.
I think we keep the Super Bowl halftime show on such a pedestal. Like, they're fine. Like I've been in the crowd. I watched Adam Levine do 10 songs. I watched Justin Timberlake do 7 songs.
I know, but when you look at like the Michael Jackson moment and the Prince in the Rain and some of the big ones,
yeah,
those are like transcendent music moments.
There are a handful of iconic moments, but I think largely the Super Bowl halftime show, like that ended, and I went, that was pretty good. And I think that's what most of them are.
Yeah, well, that is fair. I mean, obviously, we're getting fired up over it's a silly thing, but like, I also don't like that. That to me felt like people were waiting for one song.
Yeah,
and he even teased it throughout. Like, did a minute, like a second of it.
That's the song that just won 5 Grammys last week.
Yeah, but
like that's a big song to be like. But
he did Humble and he did DNA. Like Peekaboo was the only one that I would kind of say like was a little random for him.
Man in the Garden and Luther.
But like there isn't a single artist you could put up there. Maybe not a single. There are a couple artists, but like 99% of artists you put up there, I'll know about half their songs. And that's what I knew about.
I don't know, man. When you have a Rihanna and an Usher who are like, it's like, which song is he going to do
Usher,
first?
Everyone hated Usher's show.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember anything from Usher's show.
Honestly, if you look at every year, this like there's just tweets and headlines.
Yeah, it always sucks.
But like when usually people have 10 songs that you're like, this could be the opener, this could be the closer, this could be like. Yeah. Usher was leaving #1 hits off of his fucking set list.
Yeah.
When you have like one song that you're building up to and teasing, and I know it's the song of the moment, but it's also just like that felt like one-hit wonder-ish to me, where it was like most of America doesn't know any of these songs, and they were waiting for the one song versus, you know, when Rihanna does it, when Usher does it, when Eminem, Dre, and 50 Cent, there's like, you know, every single song.
Yeah.
You know? And that to me is just what the stage for the Super Bowl is. And you want to be artistic and send a message, and all that is fine. He basically kind of said, like, I'm not doing that. I'm doing it my way. That is okay. But it's to me, it's like if you were like DJing a party and you're like, I'm going to control the party, but I'm not going to do a party.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like what you did was cool. I don't know. You're doing turntables and you're doing music, you're scratching and shit. It's like, we just want the fucking party.
Yeah.
So to me, it was more, that's why I always thought the selection was not the best. But what I thought was going to happen was a memorable like visual. And I that to me, I thought was very...
I thought the American flag like dancers. I thought everything that happened. I was basically like, that was cool.
Yeah,
those
like
jeans
it
were
was
fucking
those
crazy.
jeans were so good.
For a
Those
guy
were
who's
mom
also
jeans.
like 5'5", having your jeans look too big is.
It's not even the jeans, dude. It's just the style. He wore flared jeans.
They're like bare bottom.
Yeah, it just made him look like a mom body.
Yeah.
Or something. Like,
crazy. I don't know. That to me is also a thing. Like I think right now people are just propping Kendrick up. I think if it's a different artist or different situation where there's not the Drake thing and hate and love, like I think some of that shit would have got more heat than it did.
Probably, maybe. I don't know, but I'm indifferent on the Drake beef, all that stuff. I'm kind of on Kendrick's side now, which is probably what he wanted. I'm like, if he's doing it on the Super Bowl, like I think he might just be a pedophile. Like no one's saying anything. Like I don't know. It seems like it's
you have to.
Like the entire Grammys are screaming it. Like he might just be a pedophile. I don't know what else to do at this point. Like,
I think though, like for the.
Being in the crowd with A minor must have been like, that's a cool moment.
Yeah.
The necklace was cool. Like
I will say he was kind of like, I was watching it back and like he was kind of just like speed skating. Like
I thought that was cool when they're all in the flying V.
But but like the whole time, like it's actually the whole time he's just like kind of like back and forth, and like his thighs, like because the jeans, like they look like he's just it's just giving
so
like
tiny.
Yeah.
I just think that what the knock. Like Drake lost the battle so bad that like people really don't talk about like what his side of it was. But this kind of was what Drake was saying is like, you're always talking about like it's always this big thing and it's never just like good music. You know what I mean? It's always a message involved and it's preachy and it's like, and that's what the fans are saying right now. Like it was artistic and he fucked the system and he did it for the culture. And it's like, I know we're at the Super Bowl. Like, you know, it's like when he did his pop out show in LA for the culture, for the battle, like that's fine. Now show me you can do this, and I just don't think you can do that. And ironically, if you were to pick he was the first solo rap artist to ever do the whole thing. And ironically, like if the person who would be able to do that is Drake.
That's fair.
So like, and that's I think what Drake's point was. And had he won the battle, like I think people would have been like, see, but he lost it so badly that everyone. Yeah. I mean, people were saying that because he brought out SZA and he brought out Serena Williams, two exes of his, and that the PlayStation controller had an X on the field, that it meant XXX because Drake was linked to XXXTentacion's murder. And I was like,
I don't think that means that.
This was a song.
No fucking. It's like, people just will come up with anything for Kendrick Lamar to be.
His other album that was like a song and like.
As I said, the song with SZA was like a really big song. I don't think it had anything to do with like Drake's ex.
Nothing. It's just like Serena Williams was. That was like, we're gonna bring you out to, and even that, it's like Serena Williams was crip walking at Wimbledon and got so much heat for it, and now he gave her a space to do it, and everyone loved it. I get that. I'm a white guy. This is not for me. All that. Yes. I understand. It's just there's a whole other side to the Super Bowl. If you don't deliver that, I think Yeah, I love Joey Camassa's take. Did you see his?
Divas Only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl halftime show is no place for a man. That's pretty accurate. I like that. Because it is. It's about the pageantry and the flamboyance and that. And like when you're a rapper, you know, I think there is a way to do rap
I thought the
performances.
pageantry was solid. Again, like Adam Levine, fucking Justin Timberlake, they didn't have any fucking pageantry. They just stood there and sang songs.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, I don't know, like, I feel like every year it's almost, I know you talk about it sometimes with like giving birth, where you just forget, like every year, like, this is going to be the biggest show in the history. And it's like, no, it's a fucking 15-minute show in between the football game.
Yeah.
It's not like this massive.
But I do think you have there's probably few and far between, but I would say the Michael Jackson and Prince moments were huge. I actually think last year's was a big deal just for rap music because it was like all of the rap hits.
The one in
ever.
L.A.
Yeah, with Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, all that shit. Where, you know, the visual probably wasn't there, but and like I thought this was like the opposite of Rihanna. Like Rihanna has the catalog, and I thought, you know, because she was like 6 months pregnant or some shit, she wasn't doing, you know. But I'm thinking of fucking Lady Gaga jumping off the fucking building and like you know, these things that are usually a bigger performance. And it was a rap performance, but I, you know, I don't want this rap war. This race war is. It's fitting. It plays like directly, literally into the "Not Like Us" theme. You know what I mean? It's like, this is not for you. You're not like us. It's not what it's about. I get it. People, it's the class. Like this, you're not understanding. It's over your head. It's like, no, I get it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, which is fine. But like, you know, I mean, there's 10 million people who. When there's more than 10 million people, but like when the Rolling Stones come out and do 5 geriatric songs, they're like, this sucks.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
like, I mean,
yeah. But my only thing is I think a lot of the positive I'm seeing, like they're like he rapped and he was able to clean up and censor it and like didn't miss a beat. I'm like, I don't know. That's I don't know. That's not impressive.
That is doing
like to me,
me,
that's not it. Like so, a lot of the it's like he sent a message, he did it his way, he didn't do what people usually do, he doesn't care. Those are all other things, not the performance. You know what I mean?
But it's also like, I mean, this is just what people do. Like what celebrities do is like you play to your base, right? Like it's what Dave does. It's like everyone you play to your base.
Yeah,
and that's what he did.
Yeah, I just think that. Like, put it this way, like, this is a very funny moment. I can't wait to listen to their episode this week. Joe Budden's podcast, the set list for Kendrick Lamar leaked over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And Joe Budden was like, you are fucking retarded if you think this is the set list. He was like, he will be kicked out of the building if he does this. This, like, whoever came up with this fake list is stupid and didn't even do a good job. This is horrendous. And then it was just the set list. So, like, you know... There is, I can't wait to see if he's gonna lean into it or backtrack on that one because they went on for like 5 minutes being like, no fucking way he's doing these songs, and those are the songs he did. So you know, like if we're being honest about some of the song choices, I think when time goes by, it will be more forgettable than memorable.
Yeah, probably.
But that is like you said.
What
a lot
other
of them.
songs do people want? Like, what should he have done? Like Money Trees or like?
I think people were saying "All Right" was like the big one that should have been on there. I don't think he has much of these on the Super Bowl level. It's not really, doesn't really have the catalog to do it. I also thought it would have been like the live music thing. I thought would have been there. New Orleans, some sort of West Coast medley, something. You know, bring out a couple. I mean, when you say like I have a big surprise, and it's either Samuel L. Jackson or Serena Williams crip walking. I don't know.
But he said he had a big surprise?
Yeah.
Like he announced that?
I don't know if he said it, but it was like other outlets saying Kendrick Lamar says he has a big surprise.
See that
you can't do that if it's not going to be.
But I also don't like if he said it. That's one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like someone from his team leaked like, oh, we got a surprise coming, and then blog headlines start putting Kendrick announces huge surprise. It's like, I don't. Did he say that?
Don't you think that's kind of the game? Like. The same thing, people are like, he didn't like ask, like he wants to do his show his way. And it's like, but you're doing this thing that is done a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, that is okay. But don't expect everyone to just be like, so when you say, if you allude to, or anybody talks about any sort of big surprise, it's going to be like heightened for the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it can't just be like, I had somebody come out and crip walk. Like, That's people are like, maybe he's got Lil Wayne coming out, and you get Serena Williams dancing. It's like I don't know. To me, it's just not the right
The game
time
over
or place.
thing was sick.
The what?
The game over thing was really sick.
That was another moment. I wish I had my camera going. Those little 9-year-olds when TV Off came on. Mustard!
Yeah, I didn't know that song. I like that one.
That's a good
They're probably
song.
like
That's a fucking banger.
Again, was because of where my expectations were. Like, there are probably 4 or 5 songs where I was like, oh yeah, no, this song's fucking good. And then like they were like, I kept going mustard. Like that was like a child.
So fucking sick. I mean, it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a coincidence that like not like us and TV Off are 2 DJ Mustard beats who like he makes the pop hits. Those are the Super Bowl type songs. So
I love Frank's tweet that was like, TV Off is what I should have done in a minute. You got
Nailed
it. You got
Frank
him.
said that.
Yeah.
did you see?
Is Frank? I saw something the other day. It was just like one of the 10 million weight loss comparisons we do, and is Frank getting close to being skinny enough where we can call him fat?
Ooh.
I'll tell you what he definitely is. He's getting skinny enough that he needs to buy new clothes. But that is an interesting question.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think
Because
of
you don't make fun of fat people to their face when they're fat. You make fun of like it's like I call you fat. It's like you're not fat.
I think like our biggest guy we call fat is probably Dana,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So like
Dana,
Frank's probably
Big Cat used to do that. And everyone can laugh because it's like I know I'm not like in shape, but I'm not a fat person.
I'm not. Yeah.
You know.
Like Frank's close.
I will tell you this.
Frank's
much.
close to being a fat guy.
Frank Fleming's almost fat. That's fucking hilarious. I'll tell you this much, and I don't mean any shade because, as we saw and you tweeted about it, he is a gentleman in every way. But Barstool Beef. Did you see the picture next to the Fat Perez?
Yeah.
Bro, a man whose name is the Fat Perez looked like Bob Fox.
Yeah.
That was I went. That was jarring, bro.
He's a big body,
He's
dude.
beef, bro. He is
That video of him with
huge.
the hat, it's all I've thought about for like 3 days.
Hat off.
Just
every person he met took the hat off.
Fucking
Gentlemen.
Like,
All
dude,
class,
I never
baby.
even. I'm such a fucking piece of shit. I never even thought to do that. I don't know. That's a golf thing, not a gentleman thing, right? Like,
I don't know. I always think of it as like an old man, not even like a cap, like a fedora type hat.
yeah. I guess it is a like, gentleman as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, it is like, oh, good to see you. Dude, I gotta work that in.
He is special. Did you see Stu Finer's tweets over the Super Bowl?
No.
Stu was on one, man. First of all, and he was right to point this out. The whipped cream Whippets commercial was batshit crazy.
I missed that one.
Oh man! First of all, it's like dudes just doing Whippets, which they were like, but they
First time I ever did a whip it, I was watching Like Mike starring Lil Bow Wow.
No way. Pretty young, no?
Pretty young.
It's like 2002, isn't it?
I don't even know if it's then.
The commercial for that had tongues. Like it was someone like opening their mouth, and then the tongue like disconnected, and it was like wiggling and all sorts of weird shit. And Stu Finer tweeted it being like, "This is me eating ass." But the one that jumped out at me was Skip Bayless said, "I am not watching this halftime show out of respect for my brother Lil Wayne, who should obviously be playing in his hometown of New Orleans. This is just so wrong." And Stu replied, "You didn't respect your wife when you tried to fuck for $1 million." He said when Kendrick was performing Harriet Tubman when watching the Free States, he was certainly on one. Yeah, this thing creeped me out, man. That's a lot for a Super Bowl commercial, man.
I like the titty one.
I got a video. It was very funny.
Titty commercial was
Keegan,
great.
Keegan was dialed in on that one. He was dialed in, and then the final message was like, always looked at but always so ignored or something.
Yeah,
like
like breast cancer.
And he was like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "I don't want to talk to you about this."
It was a Wanda Sykes commercial, Pavs, if you missed it.
He was, but Keegs was just sitting there like looking at those tits. It was fun. I was almost. It was dangerous territory. It was Keegan's first Super Bowl that he knows football now. We were watching it, talking about it. And I was like, "This is the type of shit where you go, oh, I was 7 years old and I watched the Eagles win the Super Bowl and I'm an Eagles fan now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Go play with your fucking friends." It was like pick six. By the way, huge moment for white boys everywhere. Cooper with a pick six in the Super Bowl, white cornerback. That to me was the biggest moment of the fucking game. Fuck Patrick Mahomes' legacy. Fuck the Eagles. Whatever. It's a white boy corner with a pick six that should be. Play that in schools and read that in textbooks and history books. But yeah, I did not want Keegan being a fucking Eagles fan because all these boys were screaming about it.
I can't get over that. It's so many fucking Eagles fans.
So weird, dude. And I think I think there was probably like 3 or 4 like real ones, and then like I was like, Keegan, who are you rooting for? He was like, the fucking Eagles.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be the one guy moping in
Behind
the corner
enemy
now.
lines,
Yeah. So I get that. But yeah, all in all, a big one. I think it's still the. Today's episode of KFC Radio is brought to you by Season 8 of Love is Blind on Netflix, February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. So if you're gonna
Happy Valentines.
What's that?
It's from 30 Rock. Okay. It's just me being annoying. Is what it is.
Love is Blind is the best reality show out there right now. And even if you're not too heavy of a reality show guy, it is a very enjoyable show that like your girl's going to love it. It's Valentine's Day. You got to do, your Valentine's Day girly thing. Make it Love is Blind because it'll be entertaining. It's not like other reality shows where you might be like, this is absolutely terrible. You will watch people embarrass themselves and make a mockery of their entire lives right in front of you. It's on Netflix. We're on season 8. It is, to me, the gold standard of reality TV right now. We got a chance to go to the Love is Blind studios and check it all out. And once you're in there, you realize just how goddamn crazy it would be to be like, I'm going to find and marry a person right now.
Without ever seeing them.
Without ever seeing them. It's so crazy. I already did a video on it's in Minnesota. All of the singles are from Minnesota, and they're all weird and there's a bunch of God freaks in there that love it.
Yeah.
Like there's a heavy religion. There's a couple complete douchebags. There's a couple crazy girls. It is going to be a train wreck. So check it out on Netflix. First 6 episodes premiere on Valentine's Day, and then I think they do two every single week until they do the big reunion show. So Love is Blind on Netflix, Valentine's Day. Check it out, season 8.
Happy Valentines.
The whole spectacle, I think, was the second biggest content moment of the weekend next to Jackie's vlog.
I thought that was great, Jackie.
Great.
That was awesome. Yeah, thanks. I
also crushed.
I just need to get the first one out so I can get the second one out.
But
I hate it.
I respect you for just being like, I gotta just do it.
Can we not do that?
Nope, we're gonna do it.
No.
Where are we at right now?
Oh my god.
We're at,
Oh my god.
How many views?
20K.
That's crazy, Jack. 20K, 156 comments.
I know, but
you already got 2,000 subscribers. Like that is.
And you did it on the most boring day possible.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I respect that you probably were like, I just have to do this, but you could not have picked a less interesting day. I'm going back to the office. No one's there. No one's doing anything. I'm gonna be late. Like
it was
like
it was the like I thought of it as like the vlog version of my first date. Remember that with a girl when I went to the museum?
The museum. Pick the
I was
worst possible.
I was like,
yeah.
if you have fun here with me,
if you can do this
you're
vlog,
gonna enjoy it. Like you made this vlog interesting. You didn't do shit.
Yeah.
There are a lot of days you do some really cool and interesting shit, and like that's just gonna make it even better.
Because I had decided like, all right, I'm just gonna like do it and post it, and I knew like I have about like 3 days before I changed my mind, and then I was like, if I don't post this now, like I'm never gonna. So I was just like, all right, this Ram Tuesday is gonna have to be like the
if you can succeed like this when it is just a slice of life, and by the way, that is oddly enough, I think what people really want. You know, it's like we can go do a bunch of like contrived shit where we're like climbing a building, and it's like, okay, fine, but I think what's more interesting is like I'm a 24-year-old girl producer at Barstool Sports, living in New York City on my own. Like, here's how it goes. I think that's way more interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to like keep it interesting. But
you just inherently are interesting.
I don't think so.
But you're wrong.
Yes, that's the thing is, I told her
it
this.
would actually be insufferable if you did think so. So it's good.
That's why it
you
works.
don't.
Yes, I told her this. And that doesn't hurt either.
I knew I was doing that. It's like barely. I was like a second.
I told her like the way that we have been talking about you doing stand-up is how I feel about something like this. I was like, we always say like Jackie's the real star. And then when you see a vlog like this that gets this much traction and this much attention, and it's like, oh no, wait, like you really are.
Yeah.
Like you could have.
You got
guys, I have
career.
one down, and like I will just beg people to watch. So like,
but they did, and they liked it.
But okay, yeah, we'll see.
I know what you're feeling, because like you feel like you need to be interesting, but the best thing in the world is to have people interested in like your regular.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to put on an act. You don't have to have a character. You don't have to do a thing. It's like, for whatever reason, people, the way you talk, the topics you talk about, your style, people are drawn to. So it's like, I'm not gonna keep doing this.
Okay, well,
that's always kind of what worked at Barstool. There's definitely times where I was like, I don't fucking know why people are reading these blogs or listening to me. I'm just saying what I think. It just happens to resonate with people, or they like it in a certain way. So like, cool, because I'd rather that than like, all right, I gotta pretend to be the crazy right wing guy that we saw. You know, like we gotta put on this show. I gotta be this crazy sports fan. It's like I just do what I do, and people like it. You're in that level.
I mean, we don't. This is literally one like. If people stop, like if it ends up not being interesting, then I'm seriously gonna have to start like stirring the pot, or I'm going right wing.
We should do some more stuff.
Yeah, we'll do some cool stuff.
Go to some places. But it's
like, what do we even do? Like climb buildings? Like I don't know. Like what else? Like
that's
vlog?
The first thing.
I don't know.
What do I even do? Climb buildings?
Is that what you guys want from me?
That's a thing people do, right?
No,
Everyone
honestly,
goes climb buildings.
Do you remember the last time we did any sort of vlog that worked? We went bowling. People like the bowling. You know what I mean? Like, I still want to get the pool table. I think playing pool and just watching people play pool and talk. People will watch. Like, playing that fucking game over there.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, you're so good at that game.
You know, just thank you. But beyond all of that, I think people like that's Jackie's kitchen, and she's like making a salad.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's way more. If you're willing to share that stuff. Which, as like a single person, you don't have to worry about other people, and you're kind of in control of it all. Like, now's the time to do it. That's the kind of stuff that people will want to see.
Did you have to convince your sister, or was she just like, whatever, I don't care?
I was wondering that.
I didn't ask her.
I was wondering if this generation, your generation, is like so used to making TikToks and videos out and stuff like that. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing it for myself, and I definitely don't ever want to put other people in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they are just like, oh yeah, I was in a TikTok, I was in a video. Like, whatever.
No, like I filmed stuff this weekend, and I'm like, I have to ask my friends, like, are you okay with if I like post it? Oh my god!
Yeah.
But then every time I took out the camera, like somebody was like, "Oh, are you vlogging?" I was like, I want to die, guys. I want to die. It just happened. It was funny because like also like when I saw you doing stand up, it just was like, oh, like you want to be like, you wanted to try stand up, so you started doing stand up.
Yep.
So then it just like, I was like, and I don't think like vlogging is my call or like what I want to do, but like I want to figure out what I'm going to do in life.
You're going to get better.
So I have to, hopefully, I don't know.
And also like maybe vlogging turns into, I don't know, a short form video, or it becomes one day you do a contest and people like the contest, you do content. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all
just gotta get
the
ball
whole
rolling.
fucking our whole lives is just Miyagiing.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying this thing because that might help you better at this thing, and then you might suck at that, and you go, all right, I'm not good at that one.
Like the feeling of not like, I feel like you guys handed me third chair, like Fishbowl was kind of like other people handed that, like. The feeling of
Wait,
not...
I'm going to stop you there and interrupt you. They're not handing.
No, not handing.
Like, we're not giving it to
I didn't
anybody.
go out of my way. I didn't really, like, go out of my way.
We didn't ask Pavs.
But more like, I didn't, like... I was just, like, the feeling of me not... once I had the thought, like, maybe I could do a vlog, like, then it kind of started to eat at me that I wasn't doing it, and I was, like, making excuses.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't necessarily want to do this. Like, I knew it was going to be a bitch, but, like, the feeling of not doing it was eating at me so much that I was
think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy for, like, 99.9% of the world to say no and just not do this. You don't put yourself out there. You don't open yourself up to criticism. But the fact that you have a little, like, fire in you that's like, I'm wasting an opportunity or I'm missing a chance is, like... 50% of the battle.
I'm always just like, I'm at Barstool, like I have all the resources in the world, I have all the support in the world, like what, like I don't, again, I was saying, like if I got fired tomorrow, I'd be so pissed at myself for like not.
Right.
You're also never gonna get fired. But
I know.
No, and I don't say that to to ease your tension or anything like that. Like I say that in the sense that like I think the best way to do like the kind of work we do is when you have a safety net and like you're not getting fired.
Yeah.
So the safety net's
chances,
there.
You can
Oh, I feel like being bet, and like you watch me get myself
like
fired.
save for some, but like they, there were a ton of years with Barstool where I always felt like I had to do Barstool work, and I wasn't that good at it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that good at like being like a sports gambling guy.
Yeah,
I like sports,
yeah.
but like I'm not that good at like
Right.
doing that. But it just felt like, because that's the way the company goes very largely, that like that's what I have to do. But the real truth is that I wasn't gonna get fired, and I should just do stuff I like.
Yeah.
Because then all in 6 months the stuff that you like becomes Barstool work. It becomes a thing that people like. I that's why I think when we were talking, we had this conversation maybe 6 months ago. You're talking about starting a podcast, and Dave was saying he liked you, and it was like, don't force it though. Just like wait. You don't have to. It's not like you better have a thing out right now by next week or you don't have a job.
Yeah.
You have the luxury of having a baseline job. So wait until it's like natural or came to you or you were ready to do it, and like you did that, and the first one was
we basically all live on universal basic income.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You get paid money. Do what you find interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
That's
And
essentially what everyone at this company lives on.
And that's where like it's, if you can succeed at that and you find it interesting, then you have an unlimited playbook. It's when like if your first vlog was something totally out of character,
Yeah.
people loved it, you'd be like, fuck.
That's why
now
I'm
I have
happy
to
that
keep
I
up this act. But
started on
now
Random
you just
Tuesday.
do this. It's like you could probably do a fucking show where you're just like Jackie in her bedroom, and that's it. And people would watch that.
That sounds like something
Well,
else.
yeah, I guess people would watch that. Yes, maybe you should do that. I don't know. That's called OnlyFans.
Last shot was like, if the right wing stuff doesn't work out.
Like Ron said, we've always got the grift. The grift is waiting.
Exactly.
But no, I think it's great. I think there's something to being like, you're like a little bit of content, a little bit of production, and that's also kind of like your personality too. It's like you're out there, but you're a normal person. You're like quirky and weird, but you're also just like regular. That's the shit that plays to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You didn't sell us on the children's feet either, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I know what your fucking limbs look like.
I'm not gonna show you, bro. I'm not gonna show you, but my feet are so little tiny.
Those fucking ski boots you're wearing. I don't even know if we've ever made fun of you for having big feet.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I think it started with feet. And then
Really?
You guys
I
had,
honestly,
like,
let me
one
see.
day-
It's
What is that?
definitely
It was funny.
hands.
The other day, like my mom was like, "You can't, like, you really can't take a compliment, can you?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I can't. Like, give me a compliment right now. I'll take it." She's like, "Okay, you're literally not allowed to say like anything." She goes, "I think that you have beautiful hands." I was like, "Well, all right."
Now that's the
Yeah,
one
I was like,
thing.
the one thing I like cannot agree with you on. And
That's funny.
and she was like,
She probably knew you had man hands and was trying to make you feel better. I remember when I called my mom when everybody pointed out my lazy eye for the first time. I was like, "Can you believe these fucking people say I have a lazy eye?" And she was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I was like, "You knew that?" She was like, "Well, no, it's a droopy eyelid. It's not a lazy eye, but your eye." I was like, and she goes, "Yeah, I know every inch of your body. I'm your mother. I know every freckle. I know everything. I've been looking at your droopy eye for your whole life." Gotta go, Ma.
"Do you actually have like I've never really noticed it."
Yeah, it's like it's just like one's like a little lower.
I have a droopy eyelid too.
When you have white people like hooded eyes, it's very
I forget which one. I know what my grandfather looked like towards the end. It's gonna be a scene up here.
when you get the John Kerry eyes that are like
It's gonna be this. My fucking ears are gonna be down to here.
yeah.
It's so all men start to look like turtles at the age.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get jowls because I have Botox here, and so then
I was gonna say, you know why you fucking have jowls? Because you're freezing half your face and your
Wait,
other half
so
is.
if you do just stick a human in a freezer, but would they age?
That's a good question. But would you age at least a little slower? Probably.
Like you mean like a cryogenic like freezing?
No, I'm thinking like
No,
a
I'm
meat
thinking
locker.
of a fridge. Yeah, meat locker. Yeah.
like a restaurant. It's just like a cold room.
Like if I spent more time in meat lockers, would I slow
your
my
whole
aging
brand
process?
is just gonna be meat.
I know.
Meat shirts,
I know.
meat lockers.
I've been desperately trying to get away from the meat. Brand. Like, if I
You
spent,
did a good job of getting away from the beans. You went
I
from
did.
beans to meat.
I did that so yeah. But if I do spend more time in freezers, am I slowing down the process? And also, second question: if you stick a kid in a freezer, are they like growing up at the same age?
This sounds like a great vlog.
They'll be
Why
mentally
don't I start
pretty
sticking kids in
twisted, but yeah, I think their bodies will
you
continue
should
to
just
grow.
like for the winter, you just live outside.
Like
you just watch TV on like your stoop.
Yeah.
That's a great vlog. Be homeless for a day.
Before we get too far off congratulating everyone while also keeping them humble. The boy. Pavs had, I mean, as good a week as you can have. Pavs had.
One of
He's
my favorite weeks.
beaming this morning.
We're talking about the Gruden's kid?
The Gruden
Gruden,
was
just like
so
much
goddamn
fun.
funny.
Just Gruden in New Orleans. Pavs was unbelievable and going out, but being up in the morning and ready and yada, 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 yada. We got 2 sketches. Another one comes out today for a post-Super Bowl hangover. So if you're listening to this now, go watch it. But great week. As good as you could possibly have. 10 million views on Gruden. Like, Pavs wrote that one. Pavs, right? Like, that was a full Pavs production. That was actually.
Did he? Okay, keep going. But I have questions about this kid because it was so amazing.
In filming, like, I've always known, like, that the Out of Order little group was good. I've always been like, damn, like, this is good. And I think that's why I encourage Barstool people to just do what you like, because like, when I see that, that's what I like, and I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yes.
I can't tell what stuff I don't like is good and what's not. When I see it, I'm like, that's good. And so I've always known, like, this is like, we might have something here. Watching Pavs and Owen direct Gruden, I was like, oh, they're fucking rock stars. Like, you guys are both so fucking professional but fun but good. Like, it was like, again, my expectations were already high for like what we could maybe do one day. Like, now they're fucking sky high. All that said, you see Dave's tweet last night?
No, what did he say?
So Pavs tweeted this video from his account.
I tweeted the bloopers for Gruden from my account because I usually post the bloopers.
Have I taught you nothing?
It's such a perfect date, like where like a perfect date, like where, you know, again, Pavs couldn't have a better week, and then it's like, I don't even know who the fuck that guy is.
Useless.
I
taught you nothing, sir.
No, but Pavs did nothing wrong.
No,
Like,
but this is a classic.
Yeah.
But they're like it's not your job to have, like, first of all, we don't tweet things from this like this from Out of Order. It's not your job to tell like the Barstool socials what to tweet. They're supposed to be on. Like, this was very popular before Dave's on. So
Yes,
Barstool
yes.
Sports should have tweeted it before then. Viva la Stool should have tweeted before then. Whatever. That's not your job.
I just got done telling my roommates, I was like, yeah, probably one of the best weeks of my life. Like, I actually could not be happier right now. Sat on my couch. My sister texted me, what does he mean by this?
Bro, this is I know everything you're saying is true, but this is tale as old as time. That you if you don't have an account that matters.
He's right. No, like he is right.
He's right with the information he has. Like, there's nothing that's not an Out of Order. Like, Out of Order we like to keep with the sketches.
Yeah.
Occasionally we have a goofy tweet, but like Out of Order's Twitter is just the sketches.
That is really fucking funny, though.
Useless is tough.
It's like, yo, I just created the masterpiece, bro.
It's useless, and then nobody knows.
Nobody knows this fucking loser. This skit was so good. I think I hope you guys saw like a bump in overall, because I was like, this is the type of thing that, you know, Super Bowl week, football fans, you know, ESPN, just people are looking at Gruden. That's why he's such a great hire in general, but specifically for your show. Did he like prepare and practice? Like, he knew all the words to the song, and he
was so
he learned that in the moment.
So that was actually like what I was talking about with like the Out of Order group and all that. Like, it was such a cool week because we did 2 sketches, and they were both like such an example of like things we can do where Gruden we fucking worked on for like 3 weeks. Like, that was tirelessly, like, continuously throwing ideas, blah, blah, blah. Pavs ended up typing up the script, did a great job. And then the other sketch we did, which comes out today, Nick conceived at lunch on Monday. We shot it Tuesday morning.
Yeah, you guys can do it both. You can do both.
And but this one, like, we had sent Malasek is Gruden's producer, and we'd send him like a 1 sheet maybe 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, and Gruden, and we got the word he's in. And then Pavs sent him the script like 2 days before the Super Bowl, and Malasek sent it to Gruden, and Gruden just replied with a thinking face emoji. Which did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was keeping some things.
I heard
like,
a lot of
Yeah,
couple
like the
things were kept
script?
from me the night before.
Huh?
I heard there was a couple things kept from me. The night
Yeah,
before.
there were some things where like I was showing up to
Right.
that set being like,
What?
I don't know if Gruden's gonna do this
yeah.
because like
Really?
we'd gone to dinner the night before, and Malasek had been like, "What if he shows up and doesn't want to do it?" I'm like, "What do you like? That's you
Did
said
you say yes?
You said
Yeah.
he wanted to do it. That's why
Yeah.
we're fucking here. What do you mean
Right.
he might not want to do it?"
Right.
And so like I was on edge, like really. I don't. Could you tell when I kept being
Yes,
like,
yeah, 100%.
yeah, I was like, because I didn't want to like. No, he was as cool as fucking possibly could be. He was awesome, but I don't think he really had like
Understood.
understood,
Or knows
which
what's
is
on.
better because he's just fucking this great off the cuff. Like,
yeah.
like the line. Like, I just went to grab a snack and Jenks was like, "Who wrote the more to life than football line?" That was great, and I was like, "Pavs a little bit, but mostly Gruden." I think
What
the
he say?
line
He's like, I've been traded,
that was
trampled.
Gruden. I think the line in the
beaten
script
to
was
death, yeah.
was just like, "There's more to life than football."
He came up with more to life than football.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
more him too.
He said, I wrote, I'm all right, ladies. I left that in my past life.
Yeah.
There's more to life. And then
I've
he
been
came up
traded,
with
trampled,
he-
and beat to death. There's more to life than
That's
football.
it. Do that.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me.
That's bars.
Yeah, he.
But like, does he just know those songs?
No, he didn't know. He didn't know. I think when we played it,
It's
he
not
like
he had to
he
learn,
kind of
like, the
knew
whole
it,
thing, but
but
he
I
took the time
played,
to
yeah.
he learned the lyrics.
He,
like-
but he's so good that like everything was like one. He reads it once. He's like, I got it. Like
Wow.
We were in and out in an hour and a half. Easy.
he was like
Crazy.
we had printed up like the scripts to hold him during scenes, and maybe you did during some of them, maybe you
Yeah.
didn't. I don't know, but like he was just like read it, got it. Like I don't know if that's from
incredible.
like play
So
calling
good.
and shit like that. Like his
But it's
memory's
also
just
a
bang.
testament to you guys too, because like Gruden was the star, but you guys have set such a baseline of like good acting that just even the way you were like, that's fucking John Gruden. Like that's not going noticed because everyone's talking about John Gruden right now.
Yeah.
But if that stuff isn't on
Yeah.
point too at all, it doesn't come together the same way. Like
I love that.
that's
Well, now
fucking
he's just
John
calling
Gruden.
us balls. One of us balls,
Yeah. I mean that could not have gone any better. Minus Dave.
And
calling
he
useless.
looks like he was having fun doing it.
Yeah,
he was having a great time.
He's having a ball at
Dude,
Barstool, man.
he's-
He is an all-time higher.
Bro, he had a line which I've told to everybody who's talked to me in the last week. The night before at Dozen, it was like my first time meeting him, and you know how nervous I was. When I met him, I didn't tell him what I was because I didn't want to bring up the sketch. I didn't know.
Tell him what do you mean?
Like
who you were.
the
and what you-
Dozen was Tuesday night.
Okay.
We recorded the sketch Wednesday morning. So I met Gruden for the first time Tuesday night. We had not done the sketch yet. And he's like, Feitelberg, now tell me what it is you do here, man. And I was like, a little bit of everything. I wasn't like, I'm the guy, I'm doing a
I'm gonna
sketch
be
with you
acting with you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, a little bit of everything, blah, blah, blah. And so he's talking to me in beers. And he's like, Feitelberg, Dana Beers. Now let me ask, who's your third? And I think Dana goes, Will Compton. He goes, Will Compton. Let me tell you something about Will Compton. He's just good enough to get you beat. he's like, that's what I tell all my guys. I put Will Compton film on. I go, he's just good enough to get you beat. He like only talks in coach speak. It's unbelievable.
The only thing that sucks about Gruden is he will 100% go back to coaching.
Yeah.
Like he's too good. He's becoming too lovable. Fans will love him. Some team will eventually be like, "Fuck you, Roger Goodell. We're taking he's too young and too good."
Right.
So it feels like it's But while we're here, ride this fucking wave. And it really is a testament to Barstool and more so Dave. Like, losing Bussin, huge blow. Like, we're good. Like, got the football covered. It's not a knock to the Bussin boys. Although that was not. Didn't love that.
The Mahomes thing was
The
crazy.
Mahomes thing was crazy.
Honestly, I'm not even offended as a Barstool employee. I'm more like, just as any person watching that video, I was like, ooh, that felt pretty pathetic.
Yeah, it was a little cringy. It was a little begging for a show that's pretty.
Hey, look, I got a call like you see it. When Rico giving off the idol, that was pathetic.
Yeah,
This
everyone has
is-
pathetic moments.
This is
I
a
had
little
them as well.
pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're
And
leaving
then-
Barstool. Can you come on the show?
And then
I never had any feeling about Mahomes one way or another. Now I'm like, fuck Mahomes too.
Well, that was gonna
Wait,
say.
what's his beef?
I think his
Well,
Barstool
we've,
makes fun of his wife.
eviscerated his family for 10 years.
But like, we're not the only people doing it.
Yeah.
They do some shitty things.
Yeah. That. I don't blame Mahomes for not loving Barstool, but I also don't blame us
You
for
don't want Barstool talking about your family. Tell your brother not to sexually assault people. That's
Right.
the way it goes.
Right.
Like
Totally. I think Brittany Mahomes has even been like, I was not media trained, and like a lot of the stuff. But Greer always says it best. She's just slightly off-putting.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk about spraying the champagne on people. It's like, these are things you don't like her, so you're making those into things.
Yeah.
What you don't like is that she has a big mouth and she goes, ah, like that. You just don't like that.
Yeah.
And I don't like that either. But it's not like she's, if anything, my mom was like, she's a gold digger. She's like a slut. I was like, she's been dating Patrick Mahomes since she was like 15.
Yeah.
She's the total opposite. She's like a family woman and rides for her husband. She was at the AFC Championship game like 35 seconds after giving birth. She's like the most ride or die. But
I know he's like 28.
29.
But yeah, it's crazy. He's so young. One
last thing about Gruden. I spoke to him at the Dozen the night before, and like I was nervous to meet him, but Malasek introduced me to him, and the first thing he said to me is like, heard a lot about you guys, very excited. He's like, coach me up in any way you want tomorrow. Yell at me. He's like, I'm gonna listen to every single thing you say. Coach me the way that I would coach my players. And I was like, is this real life?
That's awesome.
And then you fucking did in a world where I was scared, and I think a lot of people in that room were scared. You and Owen weren't, and that was fucking awesome.
Owen was incredible.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Ari said it the other day about, he's surrounded by like the most successful people in the world, and it's like, I'm pretty fucking successful. And at Barstool, you get compared to Pardon My Take and Call Her Daddy and Pat McAfee and Dave Portnoy and people who, there's like 5 of them on the planet Earth, and then there's like people like Out of Order is fucking incredible. And if it was probably just its own solo show doing the kind of stuff you're doing, it would be, in a way, it almost like hinders you. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like Barstool opens a lot of doors and so much opportunity, but there's so much comparison, and you're like 5th on the list when you would be like number 1 right now in like the sketch comedy world. There is so much talent there that is watching it unfold as an outsider. It's like these are the stories people tell when it's like, oh yeah, man, we used to just be like in a fucking room throwing these ideas around. Like I learned how to use the fucking cameras on the fly. I didn't go to school for this. We had this guest pop in, and like it's just all happening and coming together in a very cool way. That's as Barstool has become this monster, there's not as much of that anymore. Yeah. This feels like old school Barstool, where it's like I'm just. It was the blog, so it's not as big of a production. But it's like, I'm going to write this like blog series every fucking time. Yeah. I'm going to write about cubicle stuff forever. Because it's, and you zone in on what you do and what you like, and you do it good. And it's like fucking awesome to watch.
I feel like I've gotten more street cred from Out of Order than like Barstool as a whole.
Yeah. You guys, while Barstool has become, we talked about a couple weeks ago, like the not cool or not edgy or whatever, you're like the Barstool within Barstool. Mm-hmm. You're kind of the guys that are like,
oh shit,
yeah. It's like you're doing, we're not doing the corporate shit or the everybody else is doing.
To be clear, because we're not offered it.
That's always how it goes, though. Like I know what you mean, but there's, it's like.
No, I do. I agree with that. And speaking for myself, and
because it's passion. It's passion. That's the difference.
Yeah, I think like the rest. Like I think we like it being.
What it is.
Yeah. Like, I don't. Again,
feels
not
like
a discussion we've ever had, but like, I like it where it's like not inundated with ads and shit like that. Again, we've never been offered them, so it's not like.
Well, a dream world, and I still think
it's not like we're intentionally turning them down. But I think if we were offered them, I think we'd be like, that's not the right fit.
I think if the dream is like a streaming service, I think, or something like that. Yeah. You get money for putting it on like a platform that doesn't really affect the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where you make your money, and I think that's like so on the table eventually for one of these services. Or
we're protective of it. That's the word. Like if I was going to do an ad to make money, like
because
if things are ads,
it's like you don't need to.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? If it was like break even or like it's done, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But we're kind of given the opportunity to as long as you keep the register ringing with other shit. And really, I think about this all the time. Sometimes I'm like, we got to make more money. We got to make sure we cover our costs and all that. And it's like, how many fucking people here don't even come close to doing that? It's like we've done that for a long time. You've earned the right to kind of go do this thing that at the end of the day, even if it's not making money, which it is, by the way, you're starting to make money on tickets and all that shit. But that Gruden skit alone and the value Barstool got out of it and Dave and everything is like probably worth the last couple years of you working on it for quote unquote free. You know what I mean? So there's more ways than one to bring value.
I like again the sketch that's now out, so we can talk about it a little bit. Like I also like the fact like we did like the Gruden thing is really, really, really funny, but it's like mainstream.
It's a
funny,
guest appearance.
Right? Like we know,
It's
like
closer to a commercial than it is like a raunchy sketch.
And then this one's just so stupid. It's just Nick had a voodoo doll made that looks exactly like him, and it's just he's trying to get us to fuck it.
How is it doing views wise?
I haven't put it out yet. I'm gonna put it out after this.
You guys are weird. You guys are weird birds, bro. But honestly, I really hope that people look at like more of the way you guys are doing it. There's a lot of people here who I think are like, if you just commit to like your thing, in like 2 years, it'll be good.
Yeah.
You know? But it's hard. It's like, well, I'm going to do this show or that show and like, because that's doing well right now. And it's like, take a little bit of a step back right now, do it, and you'll end up further ahead than where you're at right now.
Exactly.
But for like 12 months, it's going to be like, my views are down or I'm not making as much money or whatever. And that's scary and it's hard to do, but it's like, but if you're committing, you're talented, you do what you like, you're passionate, that will eventually shine through and you'll be ahead of where you were when you were doing other shit that was taking away from your time and which you're actually good at.
Right.
Know? And I just hope more people, you know, in content in general, Barstool or otherwise, like just do what you're good at until it gets through within a reasonable amount of time. Eventually, you got to be like, all right,
it's not working.
I was thinking about there was like the viral tweet that was like, the time's gonna pass anyways. You know, like when you like if you're like debating starting something because like it's such an uphill climb. It's like, well, the time's gonna pass. Like 2 years is gonna go by anyway. So
at least start making the climb a little bit.
Yeah. Should we all give each other an insult?
While you're watching Love Is Blind this Valentine's Day, make sure you pop yourself a little Blue Chew. What a world for young men of this generation where they just don't have to worry about not getting their dick hard. That to me was just like an eternal fear. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, everyone always says like, when I was growing up, I thought quicksand was going to be like a bigger thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's like it was quicksand, the ozone layer, the hole in the ozone. Remember acid rain?
Yeah.
That was a big thing. Not getting your dick hard,
dude.
So these are the things that terrified me as a young man, and you just don't have to worry about it anymore because you got Blue Chew.
It's also funny that you say like it's a thing everyone says, because it is. But it's just the thing John Mulaney said. Like that's a John Mulaney joke. But it's funny to see it become
the quicksand thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is like so. And the people who say it now like think they're like saying it. You know, it's like it's just the hackiest. Like
it's a John Mulaney joke in his first special.
Got it.
Which is like how it's in New in Town. Where he's like quicksand. I thought that was going to be a bigger problem.
Yes. Now I remember that. Yeah.
And like the fact that I think. Never mind. Let's finish the ad read.
Okay. Blue Chew is the original Chewy that will get your dick up. The original brand of the tablets that you can chew. They are erection-enhancing tablets that will make you last longer, that will give you stronger and better erections, and your sexual activity is going to be that much better. They're made in the USA. They're prepared. They're shipped directly to you discreetly. The process is very simple. You go to bluechew.com, and they have a licensed medical professional who, you know, you explain how you're performing, you explain your issues. If they approve you, they send it right to you. It's affordable and right to your door. You can take them anytime, morning, night. You can plan ahead if you know it's coming. It works fast enough that if it's a surprise, you can get it going. And everything's done online. You don't have to go to a doctor's office. You don't have to go to a pharmacy. It goes from the computer to your mailbox like that. So right now, make life easier by getting harder. Get it? See what they did there? Get easier by getting harder. And discover your options at bluechew.com. They have a special listener right now, a special offer for our listeners. Free month for your first month when you go to bluechew.com. More details and important safety information. Check it out. Shout out to Blue Chew. Bluechew.com. Get your first month for free.
Visit Blue Chew for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
I think when it's all said and done, can you check the can you Google quick how many people watched the Super Bowl last night? Mm-hmm. What do you think it was? Because it used to always be 100, but that was like 15, 20 years ago.
I was going to say 150?
Yeah, I was going to say 150. We might be hitting like the 200. I wonder if people are... Oh, it declined. 113. Montoya, por favor, doubled it. Montoya, por favor, doubled the Super Bowl.
I still haven't seen it.
No, what? Really?
I have no interest in watching that.
Because it's just like crippling. Like
I've seen enough of it to know what it is, and I there was one moment, whatever day it came out, where like I was like, maybe I'll just watch this. And then I saw like another part of it. I'm like, I just don't want to see this.
Because it's like upsetting. Because you're watching a guy
some
get crushed.
guy getting his fucking heart broken. Like,
but to be fair, also, you're dating some chick for a year and you sign up for Temptation Island.
No.
I'm
not like saying it shouldn't exist. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he didn't ask for it or something like that.
No, this
like,
is not your bag.
It's just not my bag.
Yeah,
like,
you don't like any of this shit.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about where it was like, it's like if I say the internet, the Twitter's big one day, and everyone's like tweeting this picture of just like a bleeding heart on the ground. And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that full video. They're like, you got to see the full video. Like, they cut him open, and he's awake, and he's not liking it. Like, I'm like, I don't want to see any of that.
Go to the one that it's Pops 2000 or whatever. You had it a second ago. If you go back to Montoya, por favor, that girl, 2000 Pops. See that 2000s? She has the original video. So, I last I checked, it was 205, and that was a couple days ago.
Crazy.
It's amazing that you don't really need it can be in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's all. Although when I did see the subtitles, there's one point where he goes, go with him. That guy can't even fucking read. That was very funny. But also, it's just crazy that like Spanish television, you just get fucking railed on television.
Yeah.
Like, that girl was riding a dick. Oh, bro, you at least watch this part. This girl is riding this guy's dick like her life depends on it. Actually, she's doing more of the work from the bottom, like power bottom, and she's just getting fucked. And they're under the covers, but it's like you would never see that in American television.
Fall to the knees.
Oh, it's not playing over here. Yeah. When he drops to his knees and he rolls around in the sand and stuff. But so here, by the way, there are people who are not on Montoya's side.
Montoya's the guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was thinking he was a girl because
people.
we have Hannah Montoya here.
It's funny because
She's Anita.
she had tweeted just like por favor, and then I kept seeing Montoya por favor.
Oh,
and then it had,
that
so I was
makes
like, why is this going crazy viral?
This girl fucked this guy, and people were saying, well, he got a lap dance, so it's fair game. Now that's crazy. And the lap dance is very aggressive. It's like face riding. But also it was like within the scope of the reality show. It was like, now we bring out the lap dancers and everyone has to get a lap dance. I don't know, you spin the wheel and who's going to be, shit like that. Where it's like, I'm on the show. And she like tries to fuck him and he's like, no, I got a girlfriend. And she was like, well, I'm going to go fuck that guy now. That's crazy. This you'll see dude, the editing is unbelievable. As he's running, they cut back and forth from him running to the house. And it's just like,
Were people talking about like the cameraman?
Oh, I mean, he's got a book it
Yeah.
with a camera on his shoulder. The host is probably running in heels on the beach and shit. He's screaming the whole time, "You have destroyed me. You have left a bomb inside of me." I mean, she's getting fucked,
my
dude.
goodness.
Imagine watching that. Watch it come back again. Like, she's fucking getting railed, dude. And I don't want to be naive about it because obviously these reality shows like, make this shit happen.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, the way the show works is everybody votes which person has to watch the footage. So it could have been another guy. So the idea is you're in two different houses. You get tempted by singles, and what they do. This is sick. This is fucking sick. When I guess you have guidelines like you're allowed to kiss somebody or you're allowed to flirt or whatever, but you're not allowed to do X, Y, Z. And I don't know if there's rules for the whole house or rules for each couple, but there are rules. If somebody, and you're in separate houses, like down the beach from each other, if someone in the house breaks a rule, an alarm sounds like a siren that's just loud enough for you in the other house to hear it, but you don't know what happened. So you're just sitting there being like, it could be my girl getting fucked. It could be your girl getting fucked. It could be someone holding hands. Like, we don't know, but you just hear like, and it's just like, yeah, somebody's getting their life ruined right now. And you just sit there and you don't know what the fuck is happening. But
that sounds awful. Why do people watch this?
Oh, it's unbelievable theater. It's unbelievable theater. If you sign up for this shit, listen.
Is it just basically like Casa Amor, but like the whole?
It's like Casa Amor. Yeah. I guess it's like Casa Amor.
Okay.
It's like that part of it for the whole thing. Like, okay, Casa Amor is like, you're gonna get fucked for the whole time.
Okay.
But so they voted for Montoya to watch, which may or may not have happened. It could have been another guy. And then they were like, it's live. And that part might not be true. But they said you have 10 minutes of live television, what's going on in the other house right now. So if that is true, it could have been a different guy. It could have been 10 minutes earlier, 10 minutes later. they were not doing anything. Like it all, at least as they purport it to be, lines up that you just had to watch your girl get fucked in front of the whole world. That is for a girl you've been dating for a year. Like, I mean, it's over. It's so fucking over. Like, but he got she was in the hot tub, like cheeks out. He's like playing the bongos on her ass, and then he gets a lap dance, and then she fucks him like twice. It was like, and they were like, well, he got a lap dance. Like, wait, what? This is crazy. And apparently they had sex another time where they didn't show it, but there was another couple, and the camera's on the ceiling, like up, and they're going like, who's doing like construction work on this house right now? And it was just like, so, I mean, that is. I wonder if people are gonna like tune in to watch the show now, or if it's just like, will you know what? And you know what's very interesting is when you get a when it's foreign, it's like. It's probably 200 million because it's like if this was in America, there'd be 100. If this was, overseas, usually it's probably they're watching it, but like everybody watches this one. You know what I mean? When you can get a true like global viral, you go off. That's the biggest I've heard in a long fucking time. 200 million views is.
What do you think the like biggest reality show viral moment is?
I mean, that might be up there.
Yeah.
Like by statistics. That's a good question.
Does Jersey Shore count?
Yeah, Snooki getting punched. Snooki getting punched was a big one.
The note I hear about.
The note's a big one. I would say the original like Survivor was huge.
But was there a moment? Or was it?
There might have been, but I can't really recall it. Johnny Bananas stealing the money at the end was big.
Yeah. Oh, CT.
CT's a huge in the backpack. Bananas stealing the $250,000. Not stealing. It was just like you can take it or split it. He was like, "Fuck you, I'm taking it." That happened in Mr. Beast's game last week. Everyone's competing for $5 million, but then there's also like side challenges for $1 million. And all it was there's $1 million, and we all line up 1 through 10, and you go down the line, and you can take as much as you want. And if you're going first, you could take $1 million, then it's just fucking over. And everybody was like, we'll all just take $100,000. This is like a side pot. Everybody gets their money, and then we go back to competing. And the first girl goes $100,000. Second guy goes, he takes $223,000. Next guy goes $650,000. And the girl walks in after that, and there's like $27,000 left or something. And she's like, what the fuck happened? And he was like, I'm in debt like $530,000. I got kids.
Oh my God.
Like I'm doing it. And I'm kind of though like these people were like, we're a family, bro. It's like, we're on a fucking game show for a week. And I can get out of crippling debt. And this also is not, he didn't vote anybody out. You're not, it's not like you can't win the grand prize anymore. It's like, I don't know. I say that I probably would be a pussy and be like, I don't want to make anybody upset. We'll all do $100,000.
Yeah.
But also it's like, I don't fucking know you. For all I know, you might be a complete scumbag.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These people, you don't know them. They're acting. And I also want to give a shout out to the girls of Survivor, Barstool Survivor. You go watch Beast games. I mean, people are weeping, sobbing, talking about we're family and like I can't believe like it's like people cry on reality shows. That's just how it goes.
I'm watching Bachelor. We're on episode 2, and already like he like gives a little bit of attention to one girl, or like the girl kisses him. All the girls are so mad, they're crying. I was like, guys, you signed up for this. Yeah. It's episode 2. You've talked to him 3 times maybe. Like it's crazy.
How could you be that invested already? You know
like,
what I mean? That to me is where it gets. They shut down the Bachelorette. They're just like, we're not doing it.
How come?
I don't know. I think it's because it's just like not like performing anymore.
So it's just done?
I don't know. I think they just said like we're stopping production. I don't know what, but it wasn't like there was a rule broken or danger or safety. It was just like I don't know if it's not working or whatever. But I feel like the Love Is Blinds of the world, the Love Islands have like the Montoyas are like this old shit of just courting somebody. I ain't gonna cut it anymore. Right. There's a lot more creative shit going on.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't talk about Love Is Blind yet on the show, have we? Or did we?
No.
Yeah. So we have an episode coming out on the 18th from the Love Is Blind pods. If you're a Love Is Blind fan, where they're inside the pods where they're talking to each other, we're the first people who are not castmates of the show to ever be on the set and in the pods. And we did a podcast Through the Wall, which oddly enough I think came out like really good. And so that'll be coming out on the 18th, right? The new season starts on the 14th. And so our next episode after that will be the Love is Blind episode. So if you're Love is Blind fans, we got that coming out, which I think people will enjoy a lot of that.
Yeah.
It was some good. It was a normal podcast, but we also just kind of talked about Love is Blind type topics that I think if you're a fan of the show, even if you're not a fan of our show, you'll enjoy it. So, jail stool, bro. I was drinking the Kool-Aid hard. I really thought Dave was going to change the game.
You texted me about starting new economies.
Yeah, man. Bro,
Kevin was like, dude, he's going to change the economy.
Well, I thought he would change the crypto economy. I still think he will. I think that this is like the first, and maybe there is no hope. Maybe these, like, the crypto people are just, this is just how it goes. But I thought there would have been a difference of, like, somebody being like, I'm going to promote this everywhere I go. Like, I'm one of the most influential people in media. Mm-hmm. I will talk about this on everything, and I will never sell. That, to me, is like, let's all fucking ride this. And they just didn't do it. And I also, I mean, I've learned to never bet against, Marty Mush and dumb challenges and Tom Brady in football and Dave Portnoy when it comes to this shit. And I think even he was like, he did his halftime show and he was like, Austin, what's it at? Like, where do we hit 200 million yet? And he was like, it's going down. And he was like, what the fuck? But these crypto people who just, everything that they hate and talk about, Dave did the right way. And then they just don't care. It's like, he's not going to rug pull. They always talk about getting more normal people into it. Like he was doing all of that, and they just don't care. Which I guess at the end of the day, when you're doing something just to make money, you can't tell people to not sell and not make money. But there is a way to do it where it's like, take some profits out, and let's keep riding this wave. I don't think jail stool is totally dead yet.
No.
I think, I don't know. I just think that it will have, I feel like those things like Dogecoin like had a moment and then it goes down and then all of a sudden like, oh, Doge is rallying again.
Yeah,
Same thing with Bitcoin. I don't know. Dave was kind of like, he was like, I don't want to put all this work into it to promote it, to get normal people to buy it and then have like these crypto sharks just like yoink them. You know what I mean? Because he's like, that's just leading lambs to slaughter. So that, like, he's kind of debating that. It's an interesting, like, it's like, can you fix this thing, which I think is kind of more just like human nature. It's like,
it feels very, and I don't think I'm like the first to acknowledge this, it feels like that whole world is very much like, hey, I got a 16-game parlay, it might hit.
Yeah. Well,
right,
and
like,
somebody said, like, dude, these coins have 72 hours and then it's just done. Like, and then you're on to the next one.
Yeah.
And you got to get in and out. I really thought that Dave was a big enough personality of being like, I will keep putting money into this. I will never sell it. I also think people just don't believe him, where it's like, Dave will never sell that.
Yeah,
he is a man of his word, too ego-driven. Like, it's not about money. And if he's going to sell, he will tell you first. Like, that's his reputation is more valuable to him than like a couple $1 million. But
good spot to be.
Huh?
Good spot to be in.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought. Like, nobody has really ever been rich enough doing this where it's like $6 million like doesn't move the needle for me. Like, everybody else would be like, I'm taking that fucking money.
Yeah.
So I really thought it was the perfect storm to like at least go a little different. I think he has, some bigger plans or had bigger plans. I don't know if now he's kind of like, I don't know, fuck these people, because you can't really rely on them if that's going to be kind of the way they operate. But I was up so much, and I did not catch out. And I'm so mad. It was like I was keeping up with his Twitter because like every time he was tweeting something, it was moving. And I wish I had not, because I was like, my finger was on the button to sell. At least my profits. I was going to sell the profits and keep in my original investment. And then he said, I'm going to do a halftime thing. And I was like, that's going to be fucking monster. And if I had not seen that, I probably would have sold it. And I saw it, and I waited for this halftime, and he announced it, and it fucking tanked. You know what it is, too? I think there's an element of, he announced that Kraken was going to host, or you could buy jailstool on Kraken.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot easier. It's just an app. It's on the App Store. That's like, you got to jump through a couple hoops with like linking your money up. But for the most part, you're not going to some shady website. It's just a regular app. Regular people can buy it. And I think the crypto people don't like that. I think they're like, it's like we don't want our band to go commercial.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And it almost signals like, okay, it's no longer cool. It's not going to be viral. It's down. But I'm like, dude, I mean, Dave Portnoy is going to talk about this on his show every day. He's going to go on fucking like, you know, Shannon Sharp's podcast and talk about this. He's going to go on Fox News and talk about this. This is like a dream for you guys. And they're just like, nope, we're out. So I don't know.
How much would you have made if you had sold right there?
It would have been a big chunk of the renovation I'm paying for.
Damn.
But whatever. I don't know. That's the game you play, right? It's the.
I was doing shows and I like got off stage and Kevin's like, it's a deal with the devil. It's happening. You got to buy some of this. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, it's easy. Download this app. And the second I downloaded the app, it was like some loophole or some obstacle. And I was like, nope, not doing it. Like, it was
it's
like
a sign. It's a sign. Yeah.
It was like I forget.
I made like $25,000 like in 20 seconds.
Really?
It was like, vroom, and I was like, oh my god. And you know, that's where I needed somebody like just being like, sell this right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I was like, I don't know. You start to think like this is the chance where maybe you turn it into like 250.
That also is why I don't do that stuff. Like, I guess it's kind of the same thing with gambling. Like the number to move the needle, like it would have to be so big,
bro. When you're
like,
not a gambler, like I'm not that, and I don't do this stuff. So when it was up and down, I was like, I don't like this at all.
But even just like if I had gone through the trouble of, it's kind of like with the grapes the other day. Like it's the same reason I don't do expenses. Like if I'm gonna do something, it has to be really worth it.
Yeah.
And like if I downloaded an app, did all this thing, set up a notification so I can follow intently and know when to sell and all this stuff, and I made like $10,000, I'd be like, what? Fucking a waste of time. like it's gotta. So it's the same reason gambling doesn't really like. It's got to be a life-changing amount of money where I'm like, whoa. That really matters. Like I don't know, like gambling. Like if I lose $50, it doesn't really bother me. If I win $50, it doesn't really bother me. Like it's, I don't know. It's interesting and it's fun to be a part of, but it's not like
gonna change you. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it would have been nice to pay for these fucking windows that I'm getting in my house. Windows are what a sham. Windows are. I mean, what? How hard is it to make glass? Is it something like that? Like I don't understand. Is it like windows are
glass pretty tough,
wildly expensive?
The little I know from watching glass get blown and stuff like that, it looks like it's pretty hard.
I guess so. I was like, how much per window? And I got to do like 30 of them? Fuck. It's a lot of goddamn money to fix this fucking drafty house of mine. So anyway, yeah, Dave did not end up yet changing the crypto world. I think there's still I don't know if there's hope for jailstool, but I wonder if there's more. I just don't think anybody trusts that. Like, I would be interested to see if Stoolies bought something, because there's so many of them, and if it was like, here's an app where it is easy and you don't have to be like a crypto freak.
Yeah.
If that would be different, because I think those people would ride with Dave. You know what I mean?
Right.
These crypto people are like, I don't even fucking know who this guy is. I don't give a shit about him. I think there needs to be a way to like tie in. It's almost like a Barstool Gold thing. I wonder if you were like, buy this coin, you get free tickets to Chicks in the Office video show. You get to go see Out of Order behind the scenes. You get to go meet Dave, some shit like that. If you buy,
you don't get to see Out of Order behind the scenes. We keep those on useless accounts.
Nobody sees those because they're on Pavs account. Nobody knows that guy. What a moment.
Apparently he's here.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We got Dan Carney on the show. It's the new year. Everyone's trying to get healthy. A bunch of people in the Barstool Chicago office are losing weight and getting in shape. You want to jump on board. You want to get involved. You got to get some better habits in your life. And one of those things is by getting more protein into your diet. So this year, get on board with Orgain, sponsor of our show. And they believe that real nutrition has the power to make a real difference in people's lives. You can work out until you're blue in the face. If you don't change your diet, it's all pretty much pointless. Mm-hmm. Don't go killing yourself. You're running miles, you're putting in the weight at the gym, and it's like if you go home and you don't eat protein, you don't get your protein, it's all for nothing. So Orgain has a 30-gram protein shake. I know Jackie's a big protein shake girl. I feel like you're always mixing it up. We saw it in the vlog. You know your protein stats. So you get your 30 grams of protein in just one shake, no added sugar, and not only do you get the protein, but it really satisfies any of your cravings for a snack or, you know, dessert or any of those things. Get your protein and get your snack in with Orgain, and an excellent source of ultra-filtered premium protein with 9 essential amino acids. So it's got all that good. And you know that you're busy. You know you don't have a lot of time. So just all you got to do is mix up a shake, pound it, you're good to go. No more time-consuming prep. Don't have to worry about any sort of cooking. You get all the protein you need in one shot. You can do it at your workout, before your workout, whenever. No quick fixes when it comes to your health, but can get that protein in your system pretty quick. So if you want more protein and you want to get healthier, go to Orgain.com/KFC and then use code KFC. You get 30% off your order for a 30-gram protein shake. It's 30% off for 30 grams when you go to Orgain.com/KFC and use promo code KFC at checkout. Kickoff is America's #1 credit building app in the App Store today. And you can start building better credit at just $5 a month. There's no credit check. There's no hidden fees, no interest. Building credit is one of the most important things you can do as an adult. It lets you buy property. It lets you get loans. It's honestly, it'll probably help your love life. You run around telling people you got a credit score of 800. Women are going to be like, that's that.
You hit a certain age.
That's what's more important.
That's appealing.
You go from like, it's like, how much can you bench? Like, what's your credit score? If your credit's under 600, you can jump up like 28 points in your first month. It's smart. It's legit. It's a credit hack with no catch, no credit check, no interest fees, no hidden fees. You're not going to ruin your credit by doing any of it. All it's going to do is help by you make one-time payments, on-time payments, and credit bureaus will see good behavior, and your credit grows fast. So Kickoff helps you do all that, and you can build it faster than you ever expected with Kickoff. That's Get Kickoff. It's Kickoff without the C. So KIKOOF. That's getkickoff.com/KFC. You can sign up right now to activate the offer. It applies to new customers, first month only. It's subject to approval. It's subject to change, and there's terms and conditions that apply. But you can start right now, right away, and start building that credit for whatever it is that you need down the road at getkickoff.com/KFC. It's a point stat based on Equifax Vantage Score 3.0 changes for Kickoff users starting under 600 who made their first on-time payment between January 2021 and March 2024. Payment and credit activity outside Kickoff can have an impact on your credit. Individual results may vary.
Well, he told me that. I went to Florida State.
What?
Yeah. Because I was telling him how you were coming on the show this week, and he's like, oh, I love Danny. We went to FSU together. And I don't know if he said together, but we both went to FSU. And I was like, dude, I went to FSU.
What? When'd you graduate?
Never.
Nice. My bad.
Still working towards that BA.
Yeah, dude. That illustrious FSU degree. Damn, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
How long
No,
were you
Dan
there?
and I'm sorry, Brandon and I. Are we going? Yeah. Brandon and I. Like, he was explaining to me his life.
Yeah.
And like it's the same life I have.
Yeah.
He's like, I went to FSU, played club hockey. I was in Pike. I was like, that was me.
Really? Yeah. Damn, dude. Well, he graduated and he lives like in a shed. So like, I feel like you might be doing a little bit better.
Dude, I actually
you don't need that degree.
I'm telling you, we are a razor thin edge away from John living in a shed. It could have gone this way or that way. It went this way, but man, was it close to going the opposite way.
Dude, I was telling him that like probably when I was in my mid-20s, we had like some Barstool event where we went back. We were going to college campus. I think it was Dixie Tour. It was one of those tours. Maybe it was Blackout, whatever it was. And we had a tailgate at Pike. And so I was there, and I was like telling some of the guys, I was like, yo, I used to be in this frat. And they looked at me and they're like, no, you didn't.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
And if you were, we disavow you now, bro.
Like, it was like, I was like 26, supposed to be like the cool guy. They're like, this fucking loser was not in this frat. I'd like go inside and show him composites. I was like, no, I was here. I was in this frat. Like,
damn.
nah,
That's like straight Dennis Reynolds.
Yeah. You had to go to the basement and pull out like old documents.
I
The
swear,
Library
look,
of
man.
Congress.
I was
of
in
Pike.
this frat.
I got the scars from hazing, I promise, bro.
Dude, Pike, they were like that's a big frat. They have like a big
They're the workout
mansion.
guys, right?
They're like,
we're like hot guys.
yeah,
Which
no,
is so fucking lame.
they are like
we're the hot guy frat.
douchiest. I remember when I got there and I like rushed fraternities. I walked into like, because you have to go to all the fraternity houses. I walked into Pike and it was like out of a movie. Like you in like the big green and like, you know, like it's these people are living in a mansion and it's like some guy who looks to me like he's like 30 is like walking out. He like just woke up and he's like, boys, just like real like douchey.
I had a couple of buddies there, but
yeah.
I wasn't super into the frat. See, it was like
I can't.
I transferred in my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, like at like orientation, I met some kids who were like, "You gotta run." I had no intentions of joining fraternity, and then like they're like, you'll be a loser." Whatever.
I was in one too. I didn't know. I didn't expect to do it. I didn't know anything about fraternities. I like joined one. I was like, oh, this is dope. And they're like, no, you have to pledge. And I didn't know like that was like a thing. I didn't know I was gonna have to like clean people's dishes, and so I just didn't do that stuff.
Telling me to do shit. Oh, really?
Yeah, I just like didn't do it, and I was constantly put on like sober probation. They're like, Carney, you're like, this sober probation, whatever the fuck it was called.
Does that mean you can't drink?
Yeah, I can't like drink or whatever.
And
so it was like I
that?
kept getting like, no, I didn't listen to that either. Yeah,
I wouldn't listen
like,
to any of this.
It was like some 24-year-old guy telling me like how to, it was insane. I'm like 18. I'm like, I don't care.
Can't. Yeah, I certainly like. I would never be able to do any of like the old school hazing shit.
No,
for sure not. But even just being like, you have to drive to Philadelphia and get me a cheesesteak right now. I'm like,
I don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing that.
And like, if I get kicked out, fine. But I'd also be like, I'd probably be like you. I'm just gonna keep showing up and not doing these things.
Yeah, and you could get away with it.
I think they thought club hockey was varsity, like a real hockey team.
Yeah.
So they thought I was like an athlete, I think, because they never made me do.
You guys
anything.
practice on like the parking garage.
I was gonna say,
like,
yeah.
Bro,
like,
hockey at Florida State
was not
did
not capture the attention of. Yeah.
But I think they thought that. But then the hockey
you must have
team,
been like great, right?
I was good.
Yeah.
I was drunk all the time.
On the ice?
Oh yeah, dude. Like there was a rink in
That's great.
Orlando and Jacksonville that we play in, and one of them, I forget which, had like a Chili's right across the street. And sometimes we would see if I could drink more margaritas or score goals. So it would be like,
that's fucking awesome.
That's great.
It was like,
and I mean, what are we talking? Like 8?
It was like, yeah. He was like, can you have 6 margaritas and score 7 goals?
7 goals in one game?
Yeah.
Who's this competition?
Great. Yeah.
That's
It was,
insane.
I mean, like the
playing
people
fucking
weren't
hockey
very
Florida.
good.
Florida.
Yeah.
There
was one other kid from there were 2 kids on the team who were like good. There was another kid from Mass who was really good, and then there was a kid from Florida who had played in the OHL who played for the Sarnia Sting, and he was really good too. But like, it was fun. Like, everyone was cool. It was
Like,
good,
who's
but it
the
wasn't
goalie on that.
But like my high school team would beat them.
Yeah.
But like it was just a good time. Like it wasn't like
but who's the people like being a goalie kind of sucks, right?
being goalie is not like a
So like, you're in college and you're choosing to like. I mean,
Be
I
a
guess if you're just
goalie.
getting fucked up, you're not like wasting your time.
Yeah.
You're still doing the fun stuff. But it's like you're putting in, you're getting beat up and putting in work for your club hockey team in Florida State for shitty positions
for nothing, and you're not getting any pussy out of it. No one's going to these games.
Right. Well, you never know. I mean, like I went to Fordham, there was no sports. I mean, there is literally sports, but they suck, and you still watch guys just fucking plow,
Just cruise.
and it's just like, really, dude. Like this guy is barely better than
We had a high school hockey team. I'm from Florida too. Like I went to high school in Florida.
You're from Florida?
Yeah. And I don't look like it.
I wouldn't have guessed
Thankfully,
it.
bro. My family's not. My family's actually from Philly, and
That
so like,
looks more-
that's a lot more. I got stuck down there because my dad was in the army. So like, I just had to
Okay,
like.
so that's different.
Yeah.
So
So I'm not culturally
Philly
from Florida.
transplant. Yeah.
Philly transplant. Like
Culturally
grew up in
from
Tampa.
Florida is a good way to put it.
Yeah, definitely not.
I didn't have a snake growing up.
Bro. I had a lot of friends that like pet snakes.
What part of?
It's this it's like this white trash suburb.
Well, that goes without saying.
that goes without saying. It's called Brandon, Florida.
Are we
It's
talking
outside of Tampa.
Panhandle? Okay,
In Tampa.
yeah.
Yeah. And so like when Let's Go Brandon became a thing, like my hometown adopted that pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like they sold
For
merch.
a couple reasons.
Yeah, no, they sold merch. I remember my grandmother, she was like, I went to church and the priest at the end of the service said, "Let's go Brandon." Like they just really got into it. And
Dude, I was just telling them, I was at a Super Bowl party yesterday. It was very kid, it was a kid's party. It was like family and all their kids. When Trump went on the screen, kids went fucking bananas.
Really?
Like, yeah! Like,
they think he's Barney.
It was a weird pop, man. It was
That's
like,
crazy.
They were a second away from a "Let's Go Brandon" chant popping out.
That's
Like,
so
they were like
funny.
9 years old.
You should show him the Apprentice movie, the one that just came out with Sebastian Stan.
watch this.
There's
Kids.
like, watch him rape his wife. You still,
about knowing
that's
people
still your
now?
guy? That's still your boy? Huh? Bet you regret that vote, don't you?
Take that guy cheer.
They don't know what rape is. It's just like, oh, they're fighting.
Watch watch him rape his wife.
They're like, well, it's a beautiful home. He's clearly doing well for himself. He paid for the house. He should get to do what he wants in his own house. She'd be in Russia if it wasn't for him. Man, shit's gold. I mean,
Oh man!
I didn't realize that was the first sitting president to ever be at the Super Bowl.
Really?
I would have thought that would have happened.
I thought that was like
actually, I think like Don Lemon said that. I don't know. I feel like that was enough for
well,
me.
they made it a big kind of deal when, like they interviewed Jalen Hurts and like Travis Kelce and all that stuff, like how they felt about him coming. But I don't remember like any other president.
Now I think about it, I can't. But
it's because he cares more.
Yeah. Dude, I was
by now somebody have done that.
in DC this weekend. I did like some local shit, and me and Brandon actually went to Ford's Theater, and we toured like where Lincoln got shot.
Yeah.
Tough show for your boys.
What do you mean?
Like, first of all, Brandon's looking up at the booth where they shot him, and he's just like, he goes, "Nah, is that where Lee Harvey Oswald shot him?" No, right? And the park ranger was like, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get on stage and talk about this in a minute." Like, we had walked in, we didn't get a tour. We just thought we bought a ticket to see the theater.
Yeah.
And then there happened to be a tour in there, so we kind of got looped in with them. And he was like, "I'm gonna go explain this to everybody because clearly this is gonna have to be a message for the room rather than just for you."
Was Brandon was serious?
Yeah,
100%.
We all knew it was a 3-name, but when he said it,
Did you think it was Lee Harvey Oswald?
no. But when he said it, I went, "That doesn't sound right."
But I don't know.
But I don't know what the real answer.
You're like, where was the second shooter positioned in the theater?
Where's the grassy knoll?
Yeah.
Jack
then-
Kennedy
no
was where?
knoll. Did you not preserve the knoll?
But then he was there. Like, give me a second. There's actually a lot of interesting stuff I was talking about. I'm thinking about it. I didn't know that John Wilkes Booth was an actor. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was like a famous actor. Like,
Oh.
like
At
the
the
theater
time.
was excited when they saw him walk in.
Whoa, I did not.
Like-
All right.
like
I'm an
he was
idiot
like-
too, I guess.
Like he was walking by, like people handing out calling cards. The security guard outside the door was like, "Oh shit, Mr. Booth, the president's gonna be pumped to see you."
Wow.
And then he shot him in the head.
Wow.
It is crazy.
That would've
Imagine
been
like Timothy
awesome.
Chalamet shooting Donald Trump
That's
in
what
the
I
head
did.
at
I was
the
like-
Super Bowl.
I was saying that people like to say like this is a crazy timeline and all that stuff. I'm like, well, Gosling didn't shoot Trump today, so like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Things were a little bit crazier back then. That's nuts.
But then the two more fun facts I have. One, first of all, he didn't die right away. He didn't die. He died across the street. The bullet went through his head. They were like, "Oh shit, we got to get him." They knew he was going to die, but they were like, "We got to get him somewhere safe and get his family here so they can say goodbye." He didn't die until 7 hours later.
Whoa.
Boy,
guns sucked.
Yeah,
back then,
guns
huh?
were bad.
look at this fucking bed. Poor guy died like in a baby's bed. Where I was like, "Oh, Abe was."
And
a
you know
big,
Abe doesn't fit in that shit.
Right,
No.
that's what I mean. Like Abe was a big body. Like that's what. Like his feet were hanging over. That
Oh
thing.
wow, yeah, that's about as dingy as it fucking gets.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not great for the president.
But then, so he gets shot in the head, right? They don't invent the Secret Service yet. They don't invent the Secret Service till 2 more presidents get assassinated.
They're like, maybe we should be protecting these guys.
That was 1865, 1864, maybe. It wasn't until 1901 the Secret Service got invented.
Tough look for those guys. Like, it's McKinley.
McKinley and Garfield.
Yeah, like those guys get no shine.
No.
It's Kennedy. It's Abe. It's the big guns, and then even the attempts. That
Teddy
a
Roosevelt
Trump
got
Did
shot.
he? But
Yeah.
he didn't die, right?
He didn't die.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah,
die. Yeah.
So like the attempts get more love than these guys who fucking died. It's like who gives a shit about?
They didn't have
Garfield?
Twitter back then.
It's actually like when you put it because Reagan got shot, Trump got shot. Like we're
A
hitting,
lot of
like,
presidents.
It's like a 25% chance
Yeah.
you're gonna get
We're at
shot.
40, 7, 8, and there's 5 or
I think
6
it's
of them.
46, right? Because Trump's 45 and 47.
Right.
So
That's a pretty good
so
clip.
45 because
Trump-
Cleveland did a double.
He did a double.
Yeah, he did. Right,
He
he
did.
did what Trump did, where he like lost it and then won again.
He took some time off.
So I think that's counting.
Took a break from presidency.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's basically
a decent
a
shot.
1 in 10 chance if you're president, you're gonna get killed.
It's actually not that
Or a
bad.
shot, at least, yeah.
That's not that bad. Yeah. Everyone in this country has a gun. Everyone's your op. The entire world hates you.
When you have at
pretty
least
good.
like minimum 80 million people who hate you one way or the other.
Yes.
1 in 10.
And best case is you get shot and don't die.
yeah,
and you're like a hero.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you told Trump like, hey man, like you might get buzzed again. Like, what if I could tell you might get your head blown off, but you
Yeah.
also might get buzzed again and survive? Like, do you want to take that chance? I think he'd be like, fuck yeah.
100%. Also, these guys are so old. It's like they're like, please, someone kill me.
I think that's
Like,
also why
I'm-
he doesn't give a shit about like going to jail and shit. It's like, I
Yeah,
don't know,
no,
whatever.
who gives a fuck? He'll die within a month. Also, he's not
Hopefully I
going to
do.
jail.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
But even if he was, it's like, yeah, okay, I got like 5, 6, 8 years max left on this fucking planet.
Suicide by presidency.
I think there's a better chance that he would like. I don't think he's just gonna go out like Jimmy Carter style. I think he'd be like, somebody kill me.
Trump?
I think Trump would set up his own assassination before he ever just was like,
100%.
I'm going to get cancer and slowly die.
I feel like after I watched that movie now, I just feel like I know everything about Trump.
Yeah.
I'm like, I saw him grow up, I saw what he was like before
you know
the
what's
fame.
crazy? I would have thought I would have told you I know everything about the O.J. Simpson trial. And I was watching the new Netflix thing. There's even there's some shit in there that I didn't realize or maybe I didn't understand the full scope of it. Like the amount of blood that was found is fucking staggering.
Yeah. So
much goddamn blood that tracked DNA confirmed was him. They just didn't get him. It's in it's at the crime scene. It's in his hotel that he flew to in Chicago. It's in the car. Wait,
her blood's in his hotel room in Chicago?
Well, I guess not his, but he was bleeding. He injured himself in the double murder and was bleeding in his hotel in Chicago. And they were like, "Why is there blood all over your hotel?" And he was like, "I don't know."
He's just so charismatic. He can just get away with it.
I don't think people understand the level of I mean, I've heard people say before it'd be like if The Rock fucking just double murdered
That'd be
somebody.
awesome.
He was so fucking popular. And the big thing with him was white people and black people loved him. It really wasn't a race thing.
Yeah.
So everybody loved him. He was just like, yeah, no, I chopped people's heads off now. But the amount I remember the Bronco chase. I remember watching it. I was like a Knicks fan watching the game and the whatever. The amount of people that were on the freeway was insane. On the overpasses along the side, and I remember that, but the extent people had signs. How the fuck did you get a sign up and get on the road this quickly for this fucking chase?
Did you read any of them? Could you make out any of them?
It was just we love OJ type shit.
Imagine being on the run for murdering your wife and everyone's like, fucking go, OJ, let's go.
Totally. I mean, I guess it's kind of Luigi-esque.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's probably the closest thing. I mean, because if OJ,
but he had a
mission. OJ just killed his wife.
Yeah. People
like,
get out of the way.
She was annoying.
Yeah.
They were running. The best I could remember, when Auburn beat Alabama and everyone was storming and they were jumping over the bushes and getting stuck in
the bush.
It was a lot of that. Stumbling down a hill Jay Leno style on the side of the road to just be there for that's it. You know what I mean? Thousands of people.
That's one of those days where it's that would have been a Hall of Fame Twitter day.
Oh, the best.
If it was around.
It's an all-time great, man. But, just to what end?
So you watch the documentary, you still think he did
it? Yeah, I mean, there was some dude being yeah, he beat her, but I didn't think that he could kill her. It's he beat on her for years, but I didn't think he was capable of violence.
I just watched the John Benet Ramsey doc on Netflix. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I was not. That didn't do it for me.
That didn't do anything for you?
No.
I was just such an arrogant, because I get very swayed, because the beginning they're like, oh, it's definitely the parents, and by the end they're like, oh, it's not the parents.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the documentary, I'm like, these fucking piece of shit liars, they fucking killed their kid. And then by the third episode, I'm like, how could you believe that someone could murder their child? I'm just the dumbest. I'm middle America, where you could convince me that I don't think OJ did it. His blood was there because he's a blood donor. It was a whole thing.
Dude, I did that with Serial. Serial, I remember so vividly. I listened to it. I was living at home at the time. Office was in Milton, and so I listened an hour drive home, and I thought it was only one episode.
What's this?
The Serial, one of the first podcasts, that. I think it was one of the first podcasts.
A true crime podcast.
Yeah, it was the true crime revolution podcast. It was this guy who went to jail he was a Muslim guy in Baltimore who went to jail for murdering his girlfriend with really not much evidence, but a lot of bad circumstantial shit, and he had just broken up with her and all these things, and this woman investigated it and turned it into a 10-part series, but it was huge.
And I remember getting home, and it was I was one episode in. I didn't know I didn't know it was a 10-part. I was one episode in, and I was probably 24 years old, and I got home and I was flinging open the doors. I was like, Mom, we gotta do something. There's this kid in jail, and he did it. I mean, he didn't do it. And then I get in the car the next day, and episode 2 starts. By the time I got to Milton, I was like, oh, he fucking did it.
100%.
He did this.
100%.
He went home. He got out.
Yeah, he went out. Yeah, right.
He's just
I still think he did it.
Does OJ Simpson still get does he still make money when people buy his jersey?
Well, he's dead now, so.
OJ's dead?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Fuck, are you sure?
He got, not positive because he got left out of the NFL in memoriam at the NFL awards this year.
Well, because he's a double murderer.
Because he's a double murderer. Yeah.
So you're telling me the juice could still be loose? We don't know if he's. Did he get cremated?
Yeah. He died. He had cancer. I think he died
He did die.
Yeah.
Damn. I remember that that happened last
year. A few months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was like a year ago. It was almost like a year ago now.
I think. That's a good question. If he was still making money though, when he.
I mean, it's how powerful
were there really
he is.
people out there buying OJ?
I would guess they were not producing them anymore.
Yeah, that's a tough one to.
What about
it
the
took
family?
The Ford Bronco a while to come back.
I know,
dude. The Ron Goldman was just there because he was like returning some old lady's eyeglasses. Like, boy, talk about the wrong place at the wrong time,
dude.
He's like, I'll bring him over. Head chopped off.
You saying that name just reminded me. I was at dinner Saturday night. I was like alone, and I was sitting in a booth next to two girls, and I couldn't help but overhear them. And it was the greatest exchange of misinformation I've heard it's just two girls just gassing each other up with it was about the Super Bowl at first, and they're like, yes, of course I'm watching. Taylor is dating the quarterback.
Oh my god!
And the other girl was like, "Oh my god, that's right." And she goes, "And his brother is on the other team." And they were like, "No way!" Like, yeah, it's the first time brothers have ever played in the Super Bowl. And then the other girl was like, "No, that's not right. Peyton and Eli played." And the other girl was like, "Oh, that's right.
God.
That's so silly of me." And I was like, all of that. I was like, "That's not right. Nope, that's not right."
The longer they talk, the more wrong they get. They're just living more of a lie deeper into the
were there
conversation.
Guys there to
no,
impress? There were just them. That's even crazier.
But then the really crazy line came later. They changed topics, and this girl's talking about how awesome Tom Hardy is, and then she catches herself. And she goes, "Wait, no, not Tom Hardy, John Goodman."
What the fuck?
And I was like, who has ever confused those two people in the history of the world?
I still don't feel like she was even talking about John Goodman.
I was gonna say, I think that's
two people
wrong.
who think that Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are brothers don't know anything about John Goodman. If I were you, you should have intervened. I think it would have been all right for you to go, you know what, ladies, respectfully, I can't let you both leave here thinking that this is the reality of the situation.
There's no way it was.
You would have
John
been doing
Goodman,
a good thing,
right? Like they were young girls. I'm assuming. Too.
I honestly never even saw their faces. They were just behind me.
That's. I'm sure. If you eavesdropped 5 minutes later, she went, not John Goodman, John. You know what I mean? That's fucking insane.
John Goodman for Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
What do they know about John Goodman?
John Goodman's the man. He's still
not
around.
Tom
right?
Hardy.
That's John Goodman. Yeah, he's alive.
He's alive.
He's alive. Yeah.
He doesn't do much. I feel like he should be like a.
Nah, he's in Righteous Gemstones.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's right.
he's
Okay, never
really
mind.
great
Totally
in that.
wrong. He's on a fucking massive show. I was gonna say he should be like a guy who's thriving.
There's no way they've seen that show and don't know who Patrick Mahomes is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just I don't believe that they would they're into the Coen brothers.
Never underestimate the stupidity of America, man.
It's crazy.
At every turn, I'm like, wow, there are really people like this.
They're really fucking dumb.
Yeah.
That could be great. That would be great. Really just outing yourself as racist, just and a big Super Bowl party. Oh yeah, they're brothers. They're related.
There's actually it's funny I was talking about this weekend too. Many years ago, it was the Pats Falcons Super Bowl, so that was 2018.
Yeah.
The Ty Law, Patriots legend, was on a pregame show with Gary Tanguay, who is a local beat guy in Boston, and he was talking about his brother, Darrelle Revis. Not brothers. And Tanguay completely derailed the show, being like, "Hang on a second, you and Darrelle Revis are brothers?" I remember I videoed it but it was back when Vine was still a thing, so I think the video's gone. But I remember tweeting it and being like, I can't believe a Tanguay thing. Now, to be fair to Tanguay, they are both from Altoona, Pennsylvania. So
but that's not.
That's
your brothers.
That's crazy.
My brother. You said something earlier that was surprised me. You and Darrelle Revis are family members? And it was like,
why is this not a bigger story? Why haven't we talked about this before?
Two of the greatest cornerbacks in the history of the NFL are both
His
brothers.
mind is over there blown. Everyone's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was like the rest of the say.
Everyone's like,
the tables where there's like 5 of them or whatever.
And you can't cut it and be like, no, that's what black people say sometimes. You can't like explain it for him. You just gotta let him.
I think Ty Love might have even said cousin, which then even that.
Oh, that
Yeah,
really,
you're
really all
That's
fucked
another.
up.
Speaking of, did you watched the game alone?
Yes.
Did
you really?
Fuck yeah.
Just solo?
Hell yeah.
the
I
Super
don't
Bowl?
think I knew that.
Dude, oh yeah. I mean, I got home at like 3 o'clock yesterday.
Oh,
and I was like-
yeah. That's
I was like,
right,
I'm not
that's right,
doing
that's right.
dick.
Got a great text from my dad this morning. He goes, "Hey, what'd you think about that halftime
Oh
performance?"
man!
I'm like, here we go.
The amount of people across the country who were like, "Get this off my
Just
television."
so mad. My dad, I was trying to be nice. I'm like, I thought it was great. You would need a little bit of context, I think, maybe to fully appreciate
Have you
it.
seen Desi Banks was at the Super Bowl and he's just explaining like the whole Kendrick and Drake and Not Like Us and what it means to this white guy who is just in fucking hell, dude. Like,
That's great.
I mean, I don't want to play the whole video, but like, he's just
That's
explaining.
hilarious.
And the guy is like,
That's
okay,
all time.
Okay, it's
Yes.
loud. He can't hear.
He
it.
doesn't want to
Just
be
like,
there.
what, dude? What is?
He's like, this should have been Pearl Jam. This is
Dude,
this is not what I wanted.
I enjoyed the show. I thought it was cool. Like, I'm not like it's unbelievable, but like, I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I will say I don't understand a word that was said. But, like I don't understand a single word.
Then how do you like it?
Because it was just like the whole. I enjoyed.
You're a
the,
vibes guy. You're a
I
vibes guy.
enjoyed
You're a
the
vibes guy.
I mean, like, dude, 99% of songs I listen to, I don't know any of the lyrics anyway. Like, it was just.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? I just saw on Instagram the other day. There was a guy, an Italian dude in the '70s, who made a gibberish song that sounded like English, but he's not saying any words. And it was just like a catchy guitar, and he was just kind of like, I can't even really do what he was doing, but it sounded like words, but it just wasn't, because he was like, any English song will blow up, like in this country, they will like it, and it was like a #1 hit.
Yeah.
Really?
Smash. And it's like,
What was that? Do da bo dee da bo
That's
da.
what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
Was it-
Yeah.
was
no,
it
I
really?
know, but it's that's the same sort of
Sounds
shit.
great.
It's just
I
like,
know all the words of that song. You give me a couple like sounds that don't mean anything. Yeah, I can remember that.
That's when it's like, do you listen to lyrics? Do you listen to beat? It's like, yeah, there are, especially in rap, some people listen to lyrics and Taylor Swift lyrics and all that. But at the end of the day, like, if it's a beat that people like, it's good.
Look,
Yeah.
that whole show was like, is he going to say Drake and is he going to say pedophile?
Yeah,
that was the
it.
two
Yeah.
words that
Yeah.
I was looking for the whole
Yeah,
time.
I thought he was gonna let her rip with pedophile.
I was hoping he did.
Like,
Saying
I wonder if they say to him like, we will fine you $5 million.
Yeah, it's gonna be an
And it's just like, this is
egregious
fucking
amount of
crazy.
money. Yeah.
because that would be, I think, the only thing that would really stop me if I was like, I got the mic, it's live, let's fucking go.
Also,
Like,
everybody knows, like the people that know the song
are
know that
waiting
that,
for the
yeah.
moment, you know.
I think which I think you said earlier, like he's not actually mad. They're just playing sport or whatever.
You think that they're like boys?
Wait,
I don't think they're boys, but like I don't think Kendrick.
Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think that's very real hatred.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
Yeah.
earlier that it wasn't.
No,
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's very real hatred.
But I think there is also something to the theatrics of it. Like I think there.
I think it started that way, and then I think it took a turn.
There's
Like,
no way
I would
Drake is
think-
profiting as much as Kendrick on this. Like,
No,
It's not like a
I mean, yeah,
fair-
Kendrick is like, doing the Super Bowl and
Yeah.
winning Grammys because of this.
Because
which
of
is-
it, yeah.
That's also Drake and his fans sort of thing. It's like, without Drake, I don't think Kendrick is where he's
it's not
at.
like a Jake Paul, Mike Tyson situation.
No, yeah,
where they're both
yeah.
like they're gonna get their money. Doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah, no.
But
this is-
I think there is like.
It'd be like
I don't
Jake
know.
Paul just beating up Mike Tyson and calling him a pedophile. It's like, no, we both win in this situation.
But the
no such thing as bad publicity.
like we're just like in knowing the world a little bit. Like there's a chance that Drake's like watching and just like this motherfucker and just like kind of like laughs about it.
I would love. I mean, I would have watched if you give me a live stream of that for the halftime show.
Yeah,
him
I would have
watching,
paid.
I think that would have gotten somehow more viewers than the Super Bowl.
Game would have been off.
Like he literally he went across the world to Australia. Like I think he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here for this.
I saw someone say last night, don't forget that the last 2 years Drake put $1 million on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So there's a good chance he also lost $1 million last night.
Damn.
But what I was gonna say was like when he didn't say pedophile, like he should have just said like if he is mad and if he is like trying to actually bury Drake, if he said like certified lover boy, certified Drake, I think then you're connecting the word Drake to pedophile.
Pedophile.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Imagine if he didn't say pedophile, but he said like or something. It's like
And they just
throw in a
cleared
different
it.
slur.
yeah, that's fine. That's
T-Mobile's like, that's okay.
We're
not
it is
pulling
a
out.
weird word. Like it's not a swear word. You know what I
Pedophile?
mean? Like
No,
you
yeah.
could. I'm sure there's some wiggle room.
We
if
all
you
know
wanted
what a
to,
pedophile is.
Man, that's a tough. This is a tough one though.
Saying pedophile in front of Trump, like performing it, that's
Oh my
pretty.
God,
That would have been
Dude,
badass.
it was a guy at the Super Bowl party I was at. One of the dads. And he was like, and you could tell that he like knew rap music and was into it. And he's like explaining to some of the other dads who are real dads who don't know what's going on. And he was like, so there's a whole thing and blah blah blah. And he goes, I think he's gonna replace Drake's name with Trump. That's my big prediction.
What a fucking idiot.
And
What a moron.
I'm the type.
You get deported.
I was like, oh, okay. I see the vision. Okay. And then he told the next dad, and the next dad goes, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you need to
He goes,
check
I gotta
it.
be honest, you're a smart dude. That's the most moronic. It was like Billy Madison. It was like, at no point in your rambling, incoherent theory did you even begin to make a point. I was dying. I was like, oh my God. Good on you for calling it out. I could not do it.
Yeah, it's so dumb. That's so fucking
No
stupid.
sense, dude.
Like, dude, he could get away with saying any other word, but going on there and calling Trump a pedophile, he might as well pull up the flight log, and just read that as the halftime show. He'll get shot. They'll kill Kendrick Lamar. They will straight up kill Kendrick.
So you guys were on the road last weekend together? Is that what it was?
No. I was on the road with Brandon Brer,
yeah.
who
Okay.
also went to
Friends with
FSU.
you, yeah.
Got it.
Tonight we got the big premiere though.
HelloFresh is one of the best ways to build on all of your New Year habits. You're going out to the gym more. You're not going out as much. You're not drinking. You're trying to get healthier. You're trying to save money. HelloFresh can help you do all those things by sending all the ingredients you need to have nice, fresh, home-cooked meals. So you're not going to go out to dinner. You're not going to order DoorDash. You're not eating slop. You're not wasting money at the grocery store. And you're learning how to cook. And you're eating fresh meals at home that are better for you, healthier for you, and more tasty. There are 50 different wholesome, hassle-free meals each week delivered right to your door. They have new read-made meals that go from your fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. So that was always a thing.
Hang on
HelloFresh-
one second. I think that was a typo.
Ready-made? Yeah. I guess so. But it says read down. Okay, yeah. I was like, what is read-made? HelloFresh's new ready-made meals. I'm like, I'm so unhealthy. I'm like, what's a read-made meal? Is there something that I don't know about called a read-made meal? That goes from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. So it used to be, you can cook this whole meal in usually 20 to 30 minutes, which is great. But if you don't want to do that, like I was even always like, I don't know if I even want to cook all this. Now you can do it in just 3 minutes. The same high quality ingredients and restaurant worthy flavor that you've always gotten with HelloFresh, but now with none of the work. They also have their prep and bake meals with minimal mess and only 5 minutes of prep. So you got the main meals, then you've got the prep and bake meals, which are 5 minutes of prep, and they do most of the work for you. And then they've got the ready-made meals for less than 3 minutes. So everything, every different style of cooking and meals for every level of time. And right now you can get 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/KFC10FM. That's HelloFresh.com/KFC10FM, and you'll get one item of protein per box with an active subscription for the rest of your life. Free meals applied on discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/KFC10FM. Evan Williams is game day's #1 pour. You'll find them cheering with fans in every corner. They don't play favorites. They don't pick sides. That's the beautiful thing about whiskey, right? It's
For
whiskey,
everybody.
right? Everybody can drink whiskey.
Yeah.
The winners, the losers, the football fans, soccer fans, worldwide, domestic. Everybody is drinking good whiskey from Evan Williams, from center court to the gridiron and everywhere in between. If you're a fan of Kentucky's first distiller, you should consider yourself a part of Bourbon Nation. It's smooth, it's approachable, it's got caramel and vanilla and oak with hints of spice and sweetness. That profile is delicious. And right now, you can get your bottle, you can sip it straight, you can have it on the rocks, you can use it for your old fashions. Any sort of your cocktails, Evan Williams is the whiskey and bourbon for you. So enjoy game day's #1 pour. Buy now. Join Bourbon Nation. Enjoy responsibly. 21 and up. Evan Williams, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, Bardstown, Kentucky. 43 to 45% alcohol by volume. 2025.
Oh yeah. Run Club, a web series. If you want to come, you're welcome to come.
Wait, what is it? Explain
It's
to me.
tonight. We're doing a premiere for our web series that myself and my friend, other comedian Yvette Segan, we
dope.
co-wrote and co-created this web series, 5-episode web series called Run Club.
What
you know
is
what run clubs are? We've seen these things
Is it
around
like
the city.
literally like people go running together? Yeah, I know. Okay.
So it's like
Okay.
a group of people who like joined a run club to like try to like meet and like, you know, bang other people, but they're like pretty unsuccessful. I mean, these are like desperate losers. We don't do anything to like put these people on a pedestal, you know. Like I'm not saying everybody in a run club is like that, but there are some run clubs like that are like for horny people like trying to fuck. And it's insane. It's insane. Like I was at a bar, House and Hall, over the summer, and it's in the West Village here in New York. And huge bar. It's like a hall. So I was like eating lunch there, and I go to the bathroom, and it was just like me and like 3 other friends. And when I got out of the bathroom, there's like 600 people wearing all black, and everyone was like hot. And we're like, what is happening? They're like, oh, it's a run club, and if you wear black, it means you're single.
Oh, so this is just a this
Really?
is
I didn't know
this
this
is a horny
single
club.
Yes, this is a
disguised as
horny
running.
club,
They
and,
just
like-
need an activity while we meet up and fuck.
100%. And like there are legit run clubs like that people actually care about exercising, community, all
Sure.
that stuff. And
Yeah.
like, but this one in New York, I was like, holy shit, I have to like make fun of this on the
This
internet.
is a fuck fest.
Yeah, this is a fuck fest. And I was like,
You thought about joining one, didn't you?
I genuinely did think about just showing up to the after, just wearing all black.
Totally. Just like I'm sweating.
I mean, if
Pour
I
some
run
water
from
in
the
your head, like, I
train,
just
I'm
put
going to
in
be
13
sweating.
point- yeah.
Like, dude, I'm in such bad shape. Anyone who sees me run's not going to be like, I'm going to fuck that guy tonight. That's the guy I'm bringing home.
Wow, that's so interesting. I did not know
Yeah,
about this,
so,
this
like-
seedy underworld of jogging bangers.
And it's hundreds of people. So like, I made a video like
And
making fun
sorry.
of
Do they
parodying
run
it.
together?
Yeah.
Like a horde of
It's
people
like a
running through the,
horde
like
of
Central
people.
Park or some shit?
And then I have heard that people like, you know, fucking go home early, put on some makeup,
Yeah.
go to the bar. Like it's
Yeah.
just become like this whole facade
Sure.
sort of thing. So like at least that specific run club. So I was like, we should make fun of this. We made a video online parodying it, and it did like well enough to where my friend was like, we should like make this into like a show. This
That's
would be
awesome.
fun.
That's
and so
great.
we were like, oh yeah, let's do it. So we took like the same characters. Like the video I made was like kind of a little like hypersexual.
Yeah.
You know, like just, you know, we had like orgies and shit. But like the show, no one has like an orgy, but like, you know, there's like an open relationship couple who's like trying to fuck one of the other members of the club, and like, you know, they break up in one episode. So like, what does that even mean when a couple in an open relationship breaks up? And like, you know, people are like experimenting with their sexuality. The girl's trying to fuck another girl, but she thinks some other guy's kind of hot, and it's like, wait, I thought you were gay. She's like, no, I'm bi. So like, it's just kind of like this insane like group of people who are like, yeah, they're like trying to just kind of like bang people, but they're like very unsuccessful in doing so.
It's
like
a great premise.
Yeah, so like we poison another run club in one of the episodes because like, you know, they stole like one of our members.
club
and
beef.
Yeah, there's like beef, and like they're
All
hotter
comes
than
back
us.
to frats.
Yeah, I know it does. It does. It's like the people that never graduated from like being in a frat. Now they're just in a run club.
Dude, I love
Yeah.
the trailer. They have a bunch of pull quotes, and one is it's from Dave, right?
Yeah. It says, I want Grace O'Malley back. We pulled like fake quotes in the trailer. And I was like, yeah, I'm friends with Grace. I'm like, I texted her. I was like, is this cool? She's like, yeah, it's
That
funny.
is fucking hilarious. That's
Yeah.
good. Is it like a weekly show or all
Yeah,
at once or what?
So we're gonna. This is, I don't know when this episode comes out, but
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Oh, sick. So yeah, both the first 2 episodes will be out tomorrow.
Awesome.
On February 11th, and then we'll post episodes weekly, and they're all short, like 3.5 to like 6 minutes.
okay,
long.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect.
Super short. So
That's I mean, watching these guys do their sketch show, I think it's such a like perfect time for this kind of shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the whole landscape of like content right now.
yeah,
I think
we're
is-
hoping that like people still care about run clubs, you know. But like, what's funny is like, you know, we're hoping it's kind of like the pickleball situation
Yeah,
where
right.
pickleball was like, you know, the streets heard about it first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, like Gatorade has like pickleball commercials and shit. So
That sucked, by the way.
yeah.
Gatorade had one last night?
It was Liam Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe and
You're like John Goodman
chick
and
from, it was Willem Dafoe and Catherine O'Hara like playing fucking. It was Michelob Ultra playing like
pickleball or
like,
something like that. Yeah.
Dude, I thought the best one last night was Stella
Which one was that?
with Damon and Beckham. But I just love Matt Damon, so my
They were talking about like how famous are you? Like Matt Damon?
yeah, he goes, I'm more like Ben Affleck. And he's like, that's tough. Just two friends making fun of each other always makes me laugh.
It's great. Well, now like this year, I felt like I saw all of them on Twitter like the week before.
Yeah.
Dude, you like. I guess you gotta like keep up with the Joneses, but it ruins the whole.
It ruins the
fun
thing.
of
The
game,
thing
you
is,
know?
the Super Bowl commercial is like a surprise.
I think if you're the company that does that now, you'd be the big winner. Like,
Yeah.
Like nobody saw this until the moment of, I didn't see the Kanye commercial. Was that was global? That was national? It wasn't like a regional thing?
I
heard about it.
There was
but
a
I didn't see
Kanye one?
It
He
was
did it
like,
last year.
Yeah, same thing. He was on the iPhone. He was like he had like crazy veneers in, and it was like I spent all the money on my teeth, so I had to shoot it on the iPhone. I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
I saw the Kanye one during the Grammys when it was just for Yeezy.com and it was just like the clothes.
Yeah.
But I did not. But I mean, like, not that that doesn't mean it didn't air here. I just.
Do you guys see anybody still buying like Yeezys or Kanye West clothing?
No.
That's a tough. That's a pretty tough look. I think at this
wonder.
point.
I mean, there's got to be though, right? I feel like
yeah, I think he's still selling.
I know when when they went through their whole thing, like they had like $1 billion worth of merch that they like couldn't move, but then they brought him back, and like I'm sure there are still like Jewish boys getting them for their bar mitzvah. You know what I mean?
Crazy, dude.
Like that audience is still like fine or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe not the Jews anymore.
I know you have like a very specific group.
Yeah. I was just thinking of like the kids like when you're like
Kanye was
when you're
famously popular in the bar mitzvah
not
culture.
He did. He
But,
did have
that-
he
that-
did get the. You see this weekend when the ADL like condemned his hate speech, but they like everyone was like, Kanye kind of has a point because
the Elon.
because it was they
yeah.
had just defended Elon's Nazi salute and they were like,
Did the Elon Nazi salute was so egregious? You're just like, I'm just not even gonna get mad. Like you
Yeah,
just can't
yeah.
even. It's like okay, so he did the Nazi salute after Trump. What are
the
we supposed to
Roman
do
salute,
about
bro.
that?
Yeah, it's
the
like-
Roman salute.
Yeah, it's like
It's so bad
we
that it's like,
can't-
what are we supposed like?
yeah, how are we supposed to punish this?
Yeah.
bro? You're not supposed to cross this line.
You can't do it, but you're the richest person in the world. So
to say it's the Roman salute. I didn't know that was something, but it's like
It's not a
drawing-
thing, by the way. It's like a made up.
It's like drawing a swastika on this chalkboard, which I have done before, and
It's the pagan.
and being like, it's it's the Hindu symbol for peace or whatever the fuck it is.
Dude, I didn't even know they were doing it for other stuff. I didn't even know.
When in the 40s?
What?
Nah, I missed it.
Wow.
I did the Kanye the fat bitches tweet was something. You see that one?
No.
It was like, let me get the exact wording of it.
He did have a few bangers.
Well, that was the
did.
thing.
Yeah.
There was a like I really don't like it. Like I'm like this
no,
is so
it's he's washed. And
beyond like I'm not offended by it. I'm like this is just so lame for a guy of your caliber.
It's so
to be a
edgelord.
shock
Yeah,
jock, shock.
it's
You
like
know,
shock
like
jock,
I'm just
yeah.
doing this on purpose. Let me see if I could find.
It's like which one did I like his though? Because it is definitely pathetic, particularly for where he once was. Like
Yes.
the grasp or the grip he had on American culture from like 2010 to 2015 or even longer 2020 was like, I mean, you look back at pictures of yourself and you're like, I can't believe I was wearing those clothes. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Like I had like motorcycle
pink
jeans
polo
on and a fucking scoop neck T-shirt down to my knees. And I was
Ripped
like,
up and
I was like,
like-
what the fuck was I wearing? Like, I don't know. Like, it was just cool because Kanye said it was cool.
Imagine losing that. That would suck, dude. Everyone thinks you're the shit.
This tweet is a roller coaster. This is a fucking banger. Fat bitches are sex offenders. I see them, I'm sexually offended. Making lingerie for fat bitches is like giving knives to little kids. They're gonna hurt somebody. If you find yourself in a fat bitch pussy, just remember it's because you're broke.
Jesus Christ.
That is a novel.
The
into
last
280
line is a
characters.
banger. I guess I'm broken then.
Dude,
I mean,
I
he
liked
was
his one
going
too. Like
on.
I turned down 3 Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs.
That
this week.
was my favorite one.
That was a great one.
That was my favorite one.
It's like there's some Kanye's just got something about him where we can be like, it's pathetic and it's lame and it sucks.
But you're gonna talk about it.
But
You're
that
gonna-
one was a good one.
Yeah.
Like he'll
Oh, did he
find a
delete-
diamond in the rough.
Did
Yeah, he deleted his Twitter.
He did it, or they got like banned. Or
I think he said like Elon unfollowed me, so I'm probably not going to be here much longer.
I got it. Yeah, that to me is like it's like it's just a playbook when his album comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like this is so hacky.
It's really
that
hacky.
I would think less of like a regular fucking dude rolling out his content, let alone someone who's it's like you call yourself like Steve Jobs and Walt Disney and shit, and then it's like you do
And you
fat
put
bitches
out
tweets.
that,
You're like Milo.
Yeah.
I mean, the wheelchair, the fat bitches one was kind of funny. But outside of that,
well, yeah, listen, you go on a manic like 55 tweet mega thread, you're gonna have a couple of haters in there.
that's how you grow online. That's how you grow on Twitter. You can't be afraid of putting stuff out.
It's like TikTok. You just post them all, and you get a couple
you're supposed to
haters.
post it all. Yeah, you find your voice. All right, they like it when I talk about fat bitches. All right, we'll do that for this week. Yeah.
You used to produce Tim Dillon's show? Or you were just,
no, I would tour with him on the road.
But you weren't like a part of the podcast officially?
No, I would like he was looking at the time for someone to tour with him and like help produce it like on the road when you do his Patreon episodes and stuff. So that's what I did for a little bit. And he was like, if they're a comedian, they can like open the shows and stuff. So like we did that and we made like a few sketches that like did well. And he's like, if you want to,
that was like when I discovered Tim was like right. I think
around that time. Yeah. He was making a lot of sketches then.
Yeah,
and
it was the McCain. The Megan McCain.
Oh yeah, the Megan McCain. That one was like
that was a big one, right?
insane. Yeah, that was huge. Then we did one like this fake like movie trailer called The Wallet, and that was like another pretty big one.
Right.
But yeah, that was fun. I did it for like a year.
And how you guys just linked up because you were like both doing comedy? And
He had like reached out to a few people because he was looking for like someone who could come in and like if they could like edit, shoot, and sort of like do a lot of like the production tech stuff that he couldn't do. And he was like, obviously, if it's a comedian, then like they get value out of like being able to open the shows and So he reached out to a few people looking for like recommendations, and they both recommended me. And then like we got linked up that way.
How'd that end?
Yeah, I mean like gunfire.
As most Tim Dillon things probably end. Yeah.
A knife was involved. Some expensive food. Shellfish Tower. The Shellfish Tower came crashing down pretty hard. A plane went right through those Shellfish Towers. No, it wasn't like a super contentious or anything like ending. Yeah.
He's had quite the fucking. I think he still just murders on Patreon, right?
I think he's rich as fuck.
I mean, he's doing everything, right?
I'm not worried about
that
him financially at all.
No one's sweating that.
No one's like, hey, can we set up a GoFundMe for Tim Dillon? The guy that talks about eating caviar and like living in a mansion. Can we like help that guy out? I would like a GoFundMe set up for me. That'd be great. I don't have a mansion. I can't afford a Shellfish Tower. So
when you get that Patreon money, it's interesting. It's like, to me, that feels like if you can lock in at a big number monthly, like
huge.
That's not going anywhere either.
No, dude.
I mean, I'm sure there's some churn.
There's podcasts that like have dissolved and their Patreons are still earning like 20, 30K a month because people just don't cancel shit.
Right. That's the other thing.
Dude, I'm signed up for so many things. I'm sending money to businesses that don't exist anymore. For something I'll never use or be able to watch or do again.
Right. It's crazy it took the world this long to get in on the scam.
Yeah.
Like of subscription models. Because I remember many years ago, my dad's buddy was thinking of investing in a gym, which I think he ultimately ended up doing. And he was like, dude, I remember telling my dad about it. He's like, John, 97%
free money.
I believe the exact number. I think I'm right. He said 97% of your money comes from people who aren't using it.
Yeah.
It's like you need like 3 treadmills and a couple sets of dumbbells because only 5 people are coming.
Right. And a great first week.
And
then they don't need to ever come back. They could show up next week. You're not even there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you just rent the space for a week. That would be a great test. We rent a space for like a month, right? We sign a bunch of people up. Next month we're not even there. We're not even there. We're just
they don't even know that the place doesn't exist
anymore. They don't know.
Exactly. You show up to the address a year later.
He would show up and be like, I guess I was dreaming or I was high. I should get sober. And then they just never cancel.
Yeah, all right. Before I go to the gym, I got to get rid of this fucking addiction I have here.
That game is
yeah, the Patreon, it'd be nice to like wake up and be like, damn, a bunch of people signed up for my shit.
Right.
Yep. Making money while I sleep.
And even and beyond the not renewing thing, it's like if you're that big of a fan and as long as you keep your product like similar quality, they'll probably just pay. Like,
do you guys do
forever.
Patreon here?
No, it's a weird spot where it's like
with the Barstool,
we make money,
like
we get a salary,
contract.
and I always wondered like, if we did one, if it would even. I feel like it's a grassroots sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like you want to get in and like support somebody, and it's like
it's like what you were saying with Tim with the seafood towers. You're like, I don't need to get.
But people actually, for him, it's like people are like, yeah, give him some more seafood towers.
Yeah.
Like that's his thing.
He's
you know,
earned
people
that
like
perfect.
knowing that they're paying to support like a lifestyle that is hilarious.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Because they want to hear about it on the pod next week. It's like,
Yes.
damn, if this guy goes broke, he's not going to fucking Nobu.
And beyond that, it's like he's
can't talk
he's
shit
not
about the
beholden
billionaires.
to any ads.
No.
He's not worried about like getting kicked off of a platform. Like that allows Tim Dillon to be Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
Which is the most. It's a self-fulfilling thing.
That's why Kendrick Lamar should have said pedophile at the Super Bowl.
I wonder if there was a. I mean, he's already done so well. That's like how much better could he have done? But if there was like a break-even point where it was like, all right, you're gonna get fined like $5 million.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be like legendary for fucking saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not the type to would be like, now I'm gonna go on a podcast and talk about it and build all that. So I don't know if it would work, but
cancel culture, like fucking.
Yeah. It's not his style, but you probably could make an argument for like, there's a dollar amount that's worth doing that just for the the attention and the feedback.
But then like I wonder if like I mean whatever the sponsorships like that the Super Bowl has. It's probably the most powerful. Like,
I'm sure there's long-lasting ramifications of like we'll never work
or like
with you
all
again.
those brands that are involved. It's like
Louisiana had put out a statement being like, we want a wholesome halftime show.
Really?
Like the state was like, you're in our state.
Well, they're doing like their French thing, aren't they? Kind of like don't they have like a different government than us down there or something?
They're all parishes,
right? Yeah.
Once you get into a place that doesn't have
Louisiana's like a
counties, they have
province
parish.
or something. It's not even a real state.
What did you say? You said you like going back to Louisiana or going back to New Orleans. It's a lot better when you're not blacking out and fucking old bitches.
Yeah.
Really? I thought that was there. That's what it was there
I
for.
mean, look,
yeah.
I did that. That was fun. I just had a regular calm week this time. Also unbelievable. I mean, it's the best city
It's
in
a
America.
multifaceted.
It's unbelievable. But I was like, I think the hotel we stayed in, I was telling Paz, I was like, this might have been the hotel.
Really?
Well, like we're all.
John infamously
You had
had
sex
a
with like a
threesome
really
with,
old woman?
It was a threesome with like an old couple.
It wasn't
An
it
old
never-
couple,
It
Jesus.
never officially became a threesome. He kept
I guess
trying.
it was a cuck
It
situation.
was a guy. It was a man.
It was a guy, and he was like, "It's a whole thing." But
How old were they?
I was on the Pike Formal. So
Okay.
I don't know their age. I was probably 18, 19, and
They were like 40 something.
They were
like old.
older
They were
people,
not like
yeah.
young people.
Damn, you got groomed.
yeah, I
big-
did. Well, she
no, the
walked
story
up-
is very
This
the story is very
little
rapey, and he told
It's
it like
not rapey. I went there. She didn't take me.
that's true.
You're like, I didn't rape them. Like, no, they raped you, John.
That's what I meant.
No, I know, but I was like,
but everyone was willing to participate.
look, here we go. By like, you want to go by like rules? Like, was I too drunk to have sex? Probably.
Definitely.
But like they probably should have recognized that.
Yeah.
And not invited me to fuck. But I showed up.
I can't
myself.
believe your dick was hard.
Yeah, oh, dude, rock hard.
Dude, 18, 100%.
Yo,
Oh, yeah.
If I could get back to that dick, woo, baby. If I could get back to the dick where I'm getting a blowjob with an old guy in the tub.
Where you're asleep, but your dick is up.
In the tub.
The guy was in the tub?
Yeah, so we were in the
tub.
hot tub.
I don't think I could get my dick sucked next to an old man. Maybe in
Was
a
he
run
watching
club. I don't
you?
know.
Yeah, he was watching.
yeah.
He was watching. He kept trying, like, floating over, trying to get in.
What?
I was like, you back against the wall. Floating over. You know what I mean? Like, he would do like one.
I just see his little floaties on.
one breast
Doggy paddle.
it was like prison. Everyone back on the wall. No, but she had she knew what she was doing. The very first thing she came up to me.
I doubt it was her first time.
Yeah. Well, she handed me a business card. So
Whoa,
like I was
okay.
playing like Slap the Bag, where like a couple of the other guys in the frat. I don't say brothers. A couple of the other guys in the frat were like on like the second story or third story, whatever, and they were just basically just dumping wine on me.
Yeah.
And I was in a tuxedo because it was formal, and I was like trying to catch it, but I was like fucking drenched in red wine. And this woman saw me on Bourbon Street and was like, "Fuck it, that's
the guy. That's the guy we can
right
take
there."
advantage of. Now, let me ask you this: it's a formal, so you had like a date, right?
Yep. Well,
so where was she at this?
So I like when I was at FSU, like I never really like got that into it. Like I didn't really make a ton of friends, all that stuff. Like so, like, it was my
I'm
first.
sorry.
No, it was no. But it was like it was my first year there, And someone was like, I got a date for you. And this is really nice, really cool, hot chick, Brazilian chick. And like,
you're like, big tits, great ass. We're like, okay, that's
and she like, I went to the room after formal, and she was just already passed out in bed. And I was like, all right, I'm taking the governor off. Fuck it, I'm going out. And so I left the hotel room, walked downstairs. They were playing Slap the Bag, and I was like, let's go. And then this chick came up to me, and she whips out one tit, and she goes, pierced. And I was like, fucking hell yeah. And then she put that titty away and put out another titty and went lactating.
Whoa.
And I was like, that one doesn't do as much for me, but it doesn't deter me either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still about it. You know,
Oh, my
like,
God.
I would have preferred you kept that titty in the shirt, but whatever.
You're not into the lactating titty?
And then so she fucking gives me like a business card, if I remember correctly, or I was all fucked up, but she gave me some kind of piece of parchment with her address on it.
Okay.
And I kept partying for like a couple more hours. And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to see what this chick's about. So I like texted her. She was like, yep, coming to the address.
She's not attractive, right?
I have literally no idea.
couldn't figure it out.
Like,
Could you, if she walked in now, would you better recognize
not
her?
even a chance. Not even a chance. Unless she walked in and
always
was like
picture her
pierced,
as
lactated.
fat.
And you're like, oh.
wasn't
she
fat.
skinny? Okay.
Wasn't
She's
fat,
like-
but like not like you're not like.
I always pictured a fat old woman.
No, she was like a regular. Like I would just say she's just a
Yeah.
like a creative player before it got made. That's how it is in my mind. Like it's just I don't know, some chick, and
Just a lady. Just a lady.
just a lady.
Yeah.
And I get to the house, and it was a nice house if I remember correctly, like a solid house, walking distance from Bourbon. And I knock on the door, and she's like, "Just come in," and I walk in, and it's the weirdest living room setup of all time, where it's like it's just a couch, and then like a weird amount of distance away is this huge TV like hanging, and she was watching.
house.
She was watching interracial porn and fucking herself.
Whoa.
And I was like, I walked right into that. And I was
Wow.
like,
Now, then you wonder how long that was going on. You went out and partied.
Yeah,
you
like
could have been there
she-
for hours.
Hours.
You know?
and then
This woman is possessed.
like a lunatic, and she's like, so she starts giving me a blowjob, and she grabs me by the dick, and she walks me like a fucking leash, and it's like a shotgun style house. So like we go through the kitchen, and we go through like this other room. And,
Led by your dick.
This is wild.
Wild, bro.
yeah, no, that part was hot as fuck. Right, and then we get to the back room, and there's just some dude in bed. And I was like, hang on.
No.
I was like, hang on a second here. Like, I don't know about all this. And she's like, no, we're going to go outside into the jacuzzi. He's just going to come. And I was like,
I bet he's going to come.
I was like, whatever, man.
Where is it going to go?
We get in the jacuzzi. Was hanging out for like, I don't know, 45 seconds. She goes, why don't you pop up on the side of that? I'll suck that cock of yours. And I was like,
Oh,
all right.
why
So
don't you pop up on the side of that?
So I get,
That's crazy.
I get on the side of the jacuzzi. She takes out a condom, and I was like, "This is weird." She like hasn't used the condom yet, like,
Yeah.
And she bites the bag off it,
Nice.
which was great. I'd never been a part of something like that.
No.
And she uses the elastic.
But you
part
mean
of it.
the not the wrapper, the bag of the condom.
Bag of the condom.
Oh.
And then she takes just like the elastic base and just creates like a cock ring around me. like she
go around the balls?
She put that's what
Whoa.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yo,
That's
this
why I was
bitch is
fucking
a
bricked up.
professional.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, she put your dick and balls in a condom?
No, like just
like the elastic band
wrapper.
of it.
That would be
I was like,
hilarious. The image that man just had in his head for a split second, just over the balls. What's that? That
It's like that
movie was
felt,
like
feels
over the balls?
painful.
But listen, like that is a professional move because
Yeah.
you go home with a chick. She's obviously just a certifiable whore, right? And she reaches in and she takes out a condom, and you go, "Oh, damn it!" And then she does what she does with it, and you go, "Oh, hell yeah!"
yeah.
The roller coaster of emotions is crazy.
I mean, thank God you used a condom. You can't not use a condom with that woman.
To be able to be like, I technically
I use the condom.
So wait, so she had this condom on your balls? I'm trying to build a visual here.
So it was just the elastic of it.
just
Okay.
the ring.
So the ring was
Just-
under my balls,
Oh,
but over my dick.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's giving you-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was probably
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
But I wasn't the other guy in the tub.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and
Oh
then we
my
just
God.
and then we banged. We went back inside, banged, and at one point I was
Disaster.
at one point I was
Disaster.
at one point I was banging her in the ass,
Yeah.
and she went, "Don't let it pull it out." Oh shit!
Oh my God.
And I was like, God. I was like, I just want to get this over with at this point. Look at the fuck.
Bro,
on this
what does that
house
mean,
of horrors of fecal matter.
late in the
someone
night?
tells you that,
Condoms
how,
and men.
how do you get out?
I got out like,
Slowly?
No,
Like,
dude. So
or you just pull it and run and go. I mean, that's
finished, and then I remember this so vividly too. I was sliding my pants on. Like I was like bent over, kind of getting my pants on, and she grabbed something off the fridge. It was like on the fridge. She handed it to me, and she's like, "In case you're wondering if I had STDs, here's a clean test." And I was like, "Well, I definitely wasn't wondering until you
right now.
handed me a clean test that you just had at the ready right now."
I mean,
and then I walked out, and then I walked back to the hotel, and the buses were there, and I went upstairs.
so dude, you are covered in red wine, cum,
Old lady
shit. I mean, like gross hot tub water. Like
yeah.
you.
I probably didn't shower for 3 more
I
days.
was gonna say, I know you didn't shower.
What was like the post nut clarity? Were you like regretful?
I was so fucked up still. Like it
didn't even.
I can't believe you could have sex like.
It's
usually if you're in the frame of mind that you can do that, you can't physically do that. There is a little bit of a nice check and balance with the male body.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
I mean, you're gonna do a lot of like reckless shit, but when if you're drunk enough to do some really crazy shit, it usually can't happen. You know what I mean?
It makes
It's
a
nice
business
little
call on
fail-safe.
your behalf.
yeah.
Did you ever figure out the relationship with the guy?
I never
No.
spoke to them ever again. I don't.
Dude,
I
the
got-
floating of
it
Is-
this time.
like someone like trying to get in a jump rope. I was like, out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Say double dutch. Go.
Oh my god.
Bro, there's just what a disaster. I mean, to just be getting fucked in the ass and be like, I know it.
Like,
I know how that's feeling.
yeah.
Don't do it. Don't.
Fucking 4 a.m. I had 2 slices of pizza on bourbon. You better be careful, son.
Just
Oh my
a
God.
nightmare for gay guys and chicks who do that. It's just
You could have
like,
got AIDS. Like that's how you get AIDS. Is you go to some old lady's house in New Orleans
her in the
who
ass.
showed you that she's lactating and you fuck her in the ass. That's insane.
It didn't have anything to do with a
insane.
rhesus monkey. Like it was.
Dude, the guy, who's the guy? Where was he while you're having sex with this woman?
He was not present anymore. I think he just stayed in the hot tub. I think
I
he
think
was watching
listening,
from
bro.
a camera or something.
He was
in the back
watching. He was
room.
listening. He was there.
Yeah.
He
They
did
probably
not
have
give you
footage of
space,
bro. Like, they recorded that like some serial killer.
Yeah, I'm probably on some OnlyFans right now. Like, it's like their top selling video. Like, wayward 18-year-old
Bro,
fucks
I'll
old
tell you
lady in
this
the
much.
ass.
I'll tell you this much. This is a story you've been telling for a decade now. If video of this surfaced,
That'd be incredible.
it would be Pam Anderson type sex tape shit.
I,
People
yo,
would be.
I would-
if they're out there and they're listening,
That's
I'll
what the
share it.
Patreon is
I'll
for.
share it.
That's the Patreon. That's when you launch
Fuck
the
Tim
Patreon.
Dillon numbers. We're
Yeah.
doing
Oh my
seafood
god.
towers for
A
everybody. on
makeshift
this one.
cock ring and a.
It is. I'll tell
Did
you
she
what.
lactate while you're having sex?
I'm
No,
sure, I'm
the-
sure she did.
She
You were
yeah.
probably covered in breast milk, cum, hot tub water, wine, shit, and just Bourbon Street.
And then just on a bus back to Tallahassee for fucking 6
feeling
hours.
Oh my
disgusting.
god! You probably walked on that bus and people were like, "You smell like a barnyard animal, bro."
I've been to New Orleans a few times. Never had sex with a prostitute.
Nah.
Not that she was a
Me neither.
prostitute. Yeah. I came close.
Did you?
I did. I was at a strip club and I was like, "How much to have sex?" And she was like, $100.
Too low.
And I was like, "How about 40?" And she's
Oh
like,
my-
"All right, deal." And then I started to walk upstairs with her, and then something happened. I'm like, "What am I doing right now?"
Dude, to me, if I ask how much money to pay for sex, like I want the answer to be like $5,000. Then I'd be like, I don't know. Now I might be in on it because like you're something special.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a
You tell me
college
it's
kid.
100 and you settle for
40, a pretty, and then with no pushback, no negotiating
Bro,
skills.
you can't get.
She didn't go to 80. She didn't make me work for it.
You can barely get anything in this world for $40 anymore, let alone access
You get
to
like a
inside
salad
of someone's
for $40.
body.
I get
Yeah.
salad. I get a salad delivered on
$28.
No, it's 40.
$40.
Yeah.
I get a salad. I get a couple cookies and I get a soup, and that
Those
that whole
salads,
order
it's
is like
like
46 bucks.
if you want croutons, it's another like $18.
Yeah.
And this woman will let you fuck
Fuck her
for that amount
for
of
40
money. Oh
for 40
my-
bucks. But I was a college kid, so I'm like $100 kind of seems like a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't have that's like a fifth of the money that I have to my name. It's like 20% of my my total worth. I can't spend on having sex with a stranger.
Where was that?
It was in New Orleans.
That was in New Orleans?
Yeah.
I was in Miami for a bachelor party recently, and I was at Tootsie's, and like we had it set up to like someone on a bachelor party knew the owner of Tootsie's because shockingly he's an Irish guy.
Okay.
Which
what's Tootsie's?
It's like the biggest strip club in the world.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's literally a former Costco.
Whoa.
Is what the building is.
Holy
They have little
shit.
snack ladies there.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
the place you went with Willie Colon to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one cost me a pretty penny. That one was expensive.
I did not know it was a Costco.
Yeah, it's massive.
I mean, that's
It's
like
humongous.
tens and tens of thousands of square feet, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
it's humongous.
how many strippers are there? Like 1,000?
I don't.
That's crazy.
For real though.
I mean, yeah.
I literally we had with us probably 100. So I don't know how many were
Crazy.
backstage or whatever, but they were.
It's a lot of fatherless homes.
But they were like, it was my first time at a strip club in forever, and obviously all the girls at Miami strip club, they're all stunning, and every single one of them would be like kind of rubbing up on you, and they would every single one to a T would just whisper like, you want to go do coke and fuck me? And I was like,
Yes, I do.
literally more than anything in the world. Literally more than anything in the world. Which is why the first trip to Tootsie's cost me a lot of fucking money. Then I had to Venmo Willie Cologne's for. I had to Venmo his wife.
No.
Dude, Willie.
And how much was it?
A couple grand.
No.
Oh my God. How many strippers did you have sex with?
I don't think any, but I'll tell you what, I spent a lot of time in a room with one.
Okay.
As I mentioned, they were offering two things.
Dude, I'm like a guy who like a couple like, you know, I'll if I get like a dance from a stripper, I'm like, I think we're actually making a connection.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah.
much.
I'm like, I can't do strip clubs. I don't have the money to
No.
do it. And I did.
They're very good at what they do.
They're great what they do. That's how I got
And it's
COVID
not,
the first
I
time.
don't mean the dancing and the twerking and all that shit. Like they are, if they put those skills to like the business world,
Yeah.
they would. You know, you could close deals, bitch.
Oh, I'm from Tampa. I mean, like this is like
Yeah.
it's a huge part of the economy there.
No penetration, right? That's the only rule, and even that is like you're allowed to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've only been to a strip club a couple times. The last time I think I went was in 2020. That's how I got COVID the first time.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
strip club
I was
in Tampa?
visiting my parents, and I went. I was like, you know what? I'm going. It's been all year. I've been cooped up. I haven't done anything for COVID. My parents live in Florida. I'm like,
Let's
friends.
go.
I'm going out with my friends. They're like, let's go to a strip club. I went, and I got COVID. I ruined Christmas.
My birthday is
Just
March
totally fucked it
March
up.
6th, and so it was like right around then. And I remember we went out for my birthday, and my buddies wanted to go to Flash Dancers. They're like, "Come on, it's your birthday. It's like old school. Let's do it." I'm like, "All right, I'm not okay. Fine, whatever." It was the night of the Rudy Gobert like shutdown, you know, and I remember being like, don't tell anybody about it. Like, I was like, I don't think we should be here.
That's so
and
funny.
I think like if you go home to work and school and your families, they're not going to want to know that we were in a place that is touching and sharing and like, don't tell anybody about this.
I did a show, like a stand-up show that night. I remember the moment very vividly, obviously, like we all do. And I remember like I saw it as I was walking on stage, and I told like the audience. It was just insane. So the idea
that you had COVID.
No, that like Rudy Gobert,
got it.
they just
Yeah.
shut down the NBA, and just the idea of like a stripper getting on stage and being like, guys, they're shutting down the NBA for the rest of the season. Rudy Gobert just tested positive for coronavirus. She's just like naked, making like a sad like announcement.
I saw a DJ stopped a party like a week ago to break the Luka trade.
Oh, that was awesome.
It was like
that was so
a
funny.
Fucking like plays music and he's like cut the music. It was like Luka Doncic has been traded.
That was
Crazy.
hilarious. I think I stayed up till like 3 a.m. just watching every single piece of like content about it.
Imagine making a trade so bad that you have to hire personal security because you're getting
Yeah.
death threats.
Well,
like there is no two ways about it. You can talk about like conditioning and whatever. It's like you now fear for your life. It was such a bad trade.
I mean, dude, this might like hurt the relationship with like the United States and like Slovenia.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, dude, Darko Milicic was like on the coaching staff. He retired or he left the team.
Really?
Yeah, he was like
I'm
the
done.
first Slovenian-born player
Yeah.
in the NBA, and he was there and he left because of the Luka trade.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
I have no purpose here anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I cannot do
Dude,
this.
I
or
love
whatever he
the
said.
quote from the owner or the governor, whatever he is now, where he's like, he didn't say it, but he basically was leaning heavily into the fact that Luka doesn't train.
Yeah.
But the examples he used, and they're greats.
Yeah.
But it was like the Michael Jordans of the world, the Kobe Bryants of the world, the Shaqs of the world. He's like they they committed to it. And everyone was like, well, Jordan was an alcoholic gambler.
Yeah.
And Shaq famously did not exercise.
He played like
Fat
60
and
games a year.
Like he would film movies in the offseason and he would do TV shows. Like Shaq was a brand.
It's like, okay, he's not Kobe. That's about it.
yeah.
Kobe's like the only one.
But also,
who was
why
like,
would he not prop up Dirk?
Yeah.
Dirk was there for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And he won them a championship. It's
is-
nuts.
that did you see Mark Cuban talking to
Bill
Bill
Gates.
Gates?
Yeah.
Saying like, what if you found out that Steve Ballmer traded Windows 11 for Windows 10 and like downgraded? I don't believe that Mark Cuban's still like pretty heavily involved in the Mavericks.
He's supposed to I don't think he's enough of a majority owner.
No, but he still has like 20. I think it's like 27%. That's
Yeah.
not like, and he was the one who was like wanted to grow this casino thing, and that's
If it's because of the casino thing, they fucked up
that.
so hard.
What?
If it's because
Yeah.
of that, then I think they fucked up no matter what.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think they fucked up. But I can understand, when you start doing like the gambling and casinos and entertainment complexes and shit, you're no longer like, I don't care about NBA championships.
Yeah.
We're talking about like, I want to have a multi-billion-dollar gambling complex.
Yeah.
And so like, if I can force the Texas legislator's hand by having a shitty basketball team, like fucking so be it. You know what I mean? So I do kind of believe that idea, but
has
it's
Greg
not-
Abbott, the governor, said anything about Luka yet?
I mean that's really what that theory is, that like they're not approving their bid for the casino, and that they're like, all right, we're gonna fucking tank this team then.
I love the idea
That
of Greg
will-
Abbott just like calling Luka lazy. He's literally like in a wheelchair. He's like, the guy like doesn't take care of his body. His conditioning's dog shit.
Dude, Greg Abbott and who was the other one? If you're a conservative guy in a wheelchair, you automatically get like whoa, he served. And I don't think either of them.
No,
Greg Abbott
that's
was,
so funny.
wasn't
Yeah,
Greg Abbott like a skiing accident? Or maybe Mason, what's his name? Mason
I don't
Crawford or something
know.
like that? The young guy in a wheelchair. The one who was like at Hitler's cabin.
Yeah. No, Greg Abbott was just like a some sort of accident that like totally.
Yeah.
If he was like more like progressive, he'd be like seen as like this old
large-
sage character.
A
But if
large,
like he's like
this was it.
conservative, he's just like a fucking bitter like.
He got hit by a tree.
He got hit by a tree.
A large oak tree fell on him and cracked his back.
Dude, God hates you, man.
Dude, I'm gonna add that to my list of things that'll never happen.
He was jogging and got hit by a fucking falling tree.
That sucks.
Dude.
That would make me pretty bigoted too. I'd be pretty hateful if a fucking tree fell on me and I couldn't walk the rest of my life. Yeah, you're not getting an abortion now. Yeah, I just became pro-life. No, more people need to be born so more trees can hit them, and I don't have to be so alone in this world.
Bro, it says, quote, an enormous oak tree fell on him.
Just
That
the biggest
is-
oak tree imaginable.
We had, when I was a kid, an oak tree fell through our house.
Like, but if you're
That's
running,
like
if you're
a-
out jogging, you're in your road club, you're trying to fuck some bitches,
Yeah.
and you see an oak, I mean, oak trees, there's a decent amount of time for
Yeah.
you to, like,
No,
not
that's
get
what
hit
I'm
by
saying.
a falling tree.
Put it on the
Like,
list
they
of
go,
tornadoes.
Timber! It's like, I hope you get hit by a fucking tree
Running,
in a
yeah,
tornado.
that's insane. That's fucking
all-time
nuts.
bad luck.
Yeah, that's like
You could have ran anywhere else on the planet Earth. You happen to, and like, why did the oak tree fall? Was it?
if he was in a
Was somebody
storm,
chopping it
I
down?
guess
Was it
you
a
shouldn't be
storm? Like,
running.
yeah.
trees don't
Was he
just
running
fall
in a
down.
tornado?
I bet this is made up. This is 40 years ago. Where you just make stuff up. This guy fell out of a fucking hotel balcony while fucking a hooker. They were like, let's just say a tree fell on you.
like a big tree, though.
a big tree, like an oak tree.
like an enormous oak tree.
Somebody
Put enormous. Put that it was huge.
not just that'd be a Trump thing. Not a small tree.
No, the biggest tree.
The
The
biggest
biggest tree.
tree.
It's a miracle I'm still alive, actually. It's not sad I'm in
The
a
tree
wheelchair.
broke.
It's
The tree
shocking
broke in
I'm
half.
still here.
The tree's dead.
That's great. All right, so you got the series coming out,
Yeah,
and then are you on the road? Like anything else you want to plug or?
The series is the big thing. Check
Yeah.
that out. It's on YouTube. By the time this drops, it'll be episode 1 and 2.
is
will
it
be
on
there.
its own?
Yeah,
channel,
Run
or-
Club the
Run
show
Club
on
is the-
YouTube.
is the- okay.
If you follow me though, you won't be able to miss it.
This is interesting. So like that, you just started a new channel.
We started a new
and it's
YouTube, new
just that.
Instagram, and yeah, because I feel like just live there on perpetuity.
I agree,
you know,
yeah.
like just forever. Like
I'm always trying to crack the YouTube like puzzle, and I feel like right now you're at a spot where they encourage so much specializing and
Yeah.
niche stuff.
Yes.
But that to me then encourages more new channels.
Yeah.
But I also feel like they kind of penalize new channels, because to me it's like, all right, if I want to talk about music, you should make a music channel.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about sports, you should make a sports channel. And do you want? It kind of sucks. You have to spread all your promotion across like 5 channels. But the flip side of like, I have a mishmash channel with all sorts of shit that's like, oh, I subscribe to this guy for basketball, and now I'm listening to sports. Like, I'm out.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's
like
interesting.
I would just kind of like, you know, like if we did like a second season, it would go on there. Like,
Got it.
And whatever like additional stuff we would do would all go on there. You
but
know,
just
like,
for the run club.
just for
Yeah,
that run
yeah,
club.
yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I even look at like Broad City was like a web series before it was a TV show, and that like YouTube channel still exists. The web series is awesome.
Yeah, that's
you know?
cool. That's
and
cool.
so
I
it's
didn't know
like
that.
it just lives there
If it
forever.
hits, you just kind of have this
Yeah, it's
time capsule thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind
awesome.
of what I was thinking.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. So go check that out.
Thank
and
you.
Dan Carney on social. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you guys for having
Thank
me.
you very much for coming,
A
brother.
lot of fun. Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.